I unmute. Hey guys, how's it going? Uh-oh. I'm clicking too many buttons at one time. Welcome in, everybody. uh, hey, Sleuthy. Hey, Doodle. Okay, sorry, my child just walked in the room. Yes, Sleuthy. I've listened to today. I listened to most of the Stearns parents interview, and Lord, I felt like I needed a drink when it was over and done, and I didn't go through the whole thing yet.
Yeah, me too.
Um, you didn't finish either, did you? Um,
No.
Thank you, Doodle, for letting me know that. Yeah, we listened to Jen's mom last night. Jen's mom, Maddie's mom last night, 1 and 2. Um, we got those for review, but tonight, now I had I don't know how to do it from my computer because I don't know. I've never done it, but I have the PDF with just the parents interview, but I couldn't get it to play for you guys to hear. So I'm gonna roll with Grizzly True Crimes. She's already said we could use it, but I think she has more because I had the dockets on earlier, and he's while he's live, but apparently in Grizzlies she also has interviews with the security guard, which I haven't heard yet, so that will be interesting. But if you guys hadn't heard any of the parents' interview that came out from today, you need to buckle up because it's quite crazy,
Yep.
quite crazy, isn't it, Butterfly? Uh,
Yes.
she and I were we were both at work and trying to listen. We were DMing each other, going, "Oh my god, oh my god!" So it's like, girl, we got to go live and talk about this mess.
Exactly.
Uh, Are you looking for my charger? It's right here, plugged into my phone. Here. Sorry, guys, kid had a question. Here. Sleuthy, your little boy, it looked so happy the other day going to school. He was so adorable. Yeah, these interviews, and we were talking last night, Butterfly, in the stream about the report from the local Orlando affiliate who said a source told her Jen wasn't going to be charged with anything because
Hmm.
they hadn't seen anything yet that where she's breaking a law. I beg to differ,
And me
um,
too.
especially after this set of interviews with mom and dad. Um,
Yes.
it makes Jennifer look very, very guilty or
Hmm.
very, very stupid. And I think at this point, if you're just that stupid, you need to be in there with him.
I think it's both.
I think it is too.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, a
It
lot
just
of
makes me
money.
wonder, um, why? Like, what is the reason that they think that she's not guilty of anything? Like, is this something else? Like, nobody's seen her anywhere. Is she?
Well, I've been trying to find out from some sources here in Florida and through some media that I know, but no one knows where this. I'm gonna try to be
Yeah.
nice. No one knows where
I mean,
this woman is.
yeah.
I had my
I don't know.
suspicions, about
Yeah.
her being in a facility somewhere with a breakdown, or is it a real breakdown or a fake one? And that I don't know. She lied at the very least. She lied and lied and lied. And the
Mhm.
police are very, very aware of that. And you can tell from these interviews, they were very aware from the beginning
Yeah.
that they were being lied to by
Mhm.
both parties. Both parties
Yeah.
for sure. So it doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense why she's not charged yet, unless there's way more going on than we know.
I I
Is
don't
she
know.
already as a witness
Witness
to that?
protection popped up in my head, but only because of the fact that she hasn't been seen anywhere. I mean, with the way, cameras everywhere and, people wondering, I mean, how is she staying hidden that long unless she's somewhere that she's either
Right.
protected or, like you said, hospitalized somewhere?
Well, if this is like if this goes deeper or bigger than just what
Mhm.
Stefan was doing in the bedroom with the
Right.
C material,
Mhm. And I
I'm not
wonder
so
about
convinced.
the roommates. Like, what do they know that we haven't heard anything yet about them?
Their interviews will be coming up real soon. Their names are out there now because I know that they're not redacted on
Right.
some of these recordings, and we
Yeah.
already
I
knew there were
noticed
two.
that too.
I don't know about these roommates yet. I haven't decided to go down that train yet because I'm still stuck on this
Mhm.
heifer.
Right.
Um, because money was coming from somewhere is very obvious,
Mhm. Right.
and he didn't work. Dad was supporting him, and Jen could not keep a job at all. Every
Right.
time you turned around, she had a new job, and you're working part time. I'm looking right at your face. She worked
Mhm.
part time, but was so stressed out with her new job and blah 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 that go sleep with Stefan. I need my rest. Why? Over a little part time job, honey. Most
Right.
of us mothers are out here humping it, working full time jobs, taking care of the
Mhm.
babies, taking care of the house, doing all the things that we are supposed to do.
Yep.
And she's over there sleeping all the time, all day and all night. That's all they did, according to Stefan's parents. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
It makes it's like, no, lady, you're not making any sense. So
Mm-mm. I
yeah,
don't get it.
it's ridiculous. It really.
I know mine are grown, and I'm still working a full time job. Come
Kimber
home,
just
cook
sent me a
dinner.
sunset on the beach. I was so mad at Kimber today. I was like, "Girl, the beach is calling my name. I need it right now.
Right.
I need, I need
Beach
to get out
therapy.
there and beach therapy." My God, my head was about to explode earlier because other things have me irritated. So I was
Mhm.
trying not to think about that and not to
Right.
let that overtake my good senses and
Mhm.
handle that the correct way, which is not easy for me sometimes.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Yeah, we do miss Kimber. She'll be back soon. She'll be back with
Yep.
us on the stream here really soon, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll just kind of like chat for a minute, guys, and let people come in. I know there are a few lives going on, so if they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. We'll do this. We'll do it any dang way.
Yeah. She deserved a vacation. She's been through so much lately.
Yeah,
Her and her
with
husband.
yeah,
They
with
deserve
his
one.
yeah, with his medical going on, they deserve to get away for a while, and she's having a good
Mhm.
time.
That's
She down
good.
there drinking her some Margaritaville tonight. I'm like, honey,
Mm.
I don't even drink. I rarely drink, but I could have used me a good ass margarita today.
Right. She was gonna make her bacon and eggs in the middle of the night.
Right? Kimber, you hear that? We laughing at you and your bacon and eggs in the middle of the night. We know you gonna go. Well, she's on vacation. She might get room service.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart for
Yeah.
sure. But
Yep. Yep.
yeah. Let me get this screen pulled up and everything. Get her. We're in. Hold on one second.
So how are you ladies doing? Did y'all have a good day?
Okay, I think when this one first starts, it's going to be the security guard
Okay.
interview. I don't know the exact order she's got them in, but I know it's grandma, roommate, security guard, and family. I'm assuming Stefan's family. If she doesn't cover the one with the parents, I can go grab it in a minute and we'll look at that as well. Hiya,
Hey
Joe.
Joe.
He's busy working tonight.
Oh,
Yeah,
darn.
I know. It's all good. He's got a big day tomorrow ahead of him as well. So, and I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to hearing how that goes, if it goes at all. I mean, I know what he's going to do, but where he's going, I don't know how that's going to work out. So, well, for him, but I get to benefit because I get to hear what
Oh,
happened
okay.
firsthand. Maybe a nothing burger, but we'll see. What's
Mm.
your thoughts, Sleuthy? They gonna have anything good for us tomorrow, or just isn't it a status hearing, Joe and Sleuthy? I think it is. I'm not positive. There's so many damn. Different things I read about that case every day. I've been trying to keep up with that one and this one at the same time.
Everything. And then they keep coming out with all these interviews, and it's like, wait.
I know it's like, yeah. When I'm trying to work or I'm driving around, I don't want to get distracted, so because I'm like
Mm-hmm.
listening. I got the volume up high. It's all Bluetooth in the car, and I'm like, oh my god, y'all speak up into these little microphones y'all got.
Kimber.
It would be interesting to see if she hands down any rulings tomorrow. That's what I'm waiting on is rulings. You guys saw where certain somebody filed a court document complaining about the price of those transcripts, right, Sleuthy? You saw that? Like whatever, dude. You keep rolling with you, dude. I don't do you, but okay. I can't stand that dude. Oh, Megan. It's all good.
Glad you made it, Kimber.
Kimber, we was just talking about you. We was wondering if you're gonna get them margaritas in your system and get up and try and make bacon and eggs in the middle of the night. She's in the elevator. I know where she's going.
Right.
P4 or P3, which one is it, Kim? I'll meet you down there in a couple hours. It'll take me about 2.5 to get down there. Hold on, we gotta swallow this
Hey, you're
Tylenol.
closer than me. It's
Yeah,
still
she's
100 over here where I'm at.
where was she's where Kimber's visiting. It's like 2.5 hours from me. Yep, P4. I knew it. Had to know it. Had to note it. But I'm not outside, so you can't go to P4 until I walk outside, girl. You know better. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start this. If anybody comes in, they'll have to catch it on the replay or go catch Giselle. You guys sub up to her, go check her out, and you make your decision on whether you want to sub or not, but go give her a listen and give her a like. She did a lot of hard work getting all this together, and I do appreciate between Grizzly and Plunder and the docket, they're doing an amazing job of doing the legwork to get these FOIA requests in and pay for them. I don't want to take credit for something I did not do, and I never will. There are others who may do that, but I'm not one of them. But so I do appreciate all they've done, and like I said, she doesn't mind if we're using this. Just give the channel a shout out, and that's rightfully deserved. So we're going to start out and listen. I think it starts with the security guard. Here we go. If you guys can't hear, if there's any problems, let me know, okay?
Again, these files are audio only, but I really appreciate it. So
today is Wednesday, February 18th. Time is 18:38 hours. Case number 24-011313. And we are here with Alex. How do you say your last name, Alex?
Pro-size motor.
Okay. You were working on Monday, the 26th? Okay. Do you remember a resident coming through in a silver Lincoln sedan?
I do remember, but not his face. I talked to him. He showed me his little.
So listen very carefully, because what the security guard is talking about is when Stefan Sterns had actually, because remember he left the complex and then he came back and he had Madeline Soto strapped into the passenger seat. Okay. And police believe that she was already deceased at that time. And Stefan says he forgot his gate clicker, but he had Maddie in the car for one of the times he came back. So that is pretty scary. Remember, we read through that whole 896-page document. We did a part 1, 2, and 3 deep dive. If you don't remember it, don't worry. It's on the playlist. But in that, we figured, wait, what? So he put Maddie in the car, went to the dumpster, got rid of her backpack. Okay, interacted with the security guard. So we're hearing from that security guard, right? Okay, so let's keep going. So I'm showing you evidence pictures from the files as well. This is the car, right?
Clicker. And he's like, hey man, I'm clicking, it's not working. And then I went and I clicked the button. He went inside. And I just remember there was a woman sleeping beside him with a green shirt.
A green shirt? Okay. Do you remember what time that was around?
In the morning.
In the morning? Okay. What time do you get to work? What time does your shift start?
6 to 2.
6 to 2. Okay. If you had to give a ballpark of what time it was.
Not really.
Okay. Have you seen
Maybe-
him before?
No.
No? What about her?
No, because I don't remember his face. So
Okay. But so he pulled up because I know you have a resident lane and then like the guest lane.
yeah, he was like.
So he was in the which lane?
the resident.
Okay. And he had a clicker
Yeah,
with him
yeah.
and he's like, hey, it's not
Yeah.
working. Okay. Did you get a good look at the girl at all?
Well, there's an inconsistency already. He had the clicker with him. It just wasn't working. But yet Stefan Sterns told police he forgot his clicker because he had a whole narrative. And then police said, but then why do we see your car going south at the time that you say you were going northbound? He's like, oh, yeah. I forgot my clicker. Forgot your clicker. But yet the security guard is now confirming you had the clicker. You just said it wasn't working. Okay, so.
No. Could you?
Now, remember when Jen talked about the clicker, when they use it, they know when they come and went through those gates. So, yeah, we see you, Stefan, you weirdo.
You tell like age or or gender, race, anything like that? No. Okay. But you said she was wearing something green.
Yeah, and she was like apparently sleeping, like kind of like this.
Okay.
That's
Did she say anything?
no.
No. Okay. And he didn't say anything else?
No.
Did he seem to be acting normal or did he seem nervous at all?
No, normal.
Normal.
Was, yeah, I didn't notice, like, I was even with a car here on the cone, and I went there, but it was normal. He just like, hey, my clicker's not working. Like, oh,
Okay. Did you remember, did you see the car again that day?
no.
No.
When you walked up to the car, did you walk up to the driver's side of the car or the passenger side of the car?
The driver.
So which direction was her face?
Like to the other.
So
side.
she was facing like the
Like the
passenger
driver
window.
here. Yeah.
Passenger window, so her head was turned away from you.
Mhm, like this.
Could you see her hair? Did she?
She had just like her hair, like this.
Okay. So covering like maybe
Yeah.
half of her face?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I couldn't see her face. It was just like turned with the hair like this.
Did you see her move at all?
No.
Okay. So she was just still.
Mm-hmm.
It's like photos of things they found in his car. That plastic baggie we just saw looks, or the piece of plastic or whatever that was, that orange plastic here looks so dodgy. Right? Okay, I'm going to play it again. Shay, man, this poor security guard. Imagine in hindsight being like, what? She was deceased in the vehicle? Shame.
Yeah. Like I couldn't see her face. It was just like turned with the hair like this.
Did you see her move at all?
No.
Okay. So she was just still.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The interview at 1841 hours. Okay. Case number 24-011313. Alex, in regards to our last interview, could you raise your right hand for me? Like this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you swear to affirm that everything you told me today is the truth?
Yes.
Would you testify to it in court if you ever had to?
Yes.
Tuesday, February 20th.
Okay, so that's the short interview with the security guard. But very telling. There's already a lot of information there that we've just learned. Like Stefan telling the police he forgot his clicker, but then actually telling the security he has his clicker, it's just not working. And actually, as Cheryl says, that really took a lot of nerve when he knew she was dead talking to the security guy. I mean, that is so freaking brazen. What is that? Who does that? It's like alibi stuff, right? It's just so scary when you think of it in hindsight, right? Okay, so we have that. Let me just quickly see. Shauna says, sorry if I've missed it, but are there no videos of the detectives questioning everyone? Nope, audio only. I wish, wish we had the video. They did explain why. I can't remember. They said something about they don't all wear body-worn camera when they're interviewing or something like that, right? So there's no video, there's audio only. I don't know, but I wish we had it, but unfortunately it's audio only. Otherwise, of course, I would play the video for you, right? So let's just quickly, let's play this now. Here we go.
7/13/11 hours, Detective Hunt for OCSO case 24-011313. Can you state your full name? And what's your relationship? And so, do you recall the last time you spoke?
That was some.
So remember, when there's these little silent portions, it's, do you remember the last time you spoke to, and it's redacted, which would probably be Madeline's name, right? This is Madeline's grandma, maternal grandma, Jen Soto's mother, okay, speaking to the police. Her name, it's also very interesting to hear what she says. It's quite a long interview. I've got a total of 32 minutes of audio for you today. So
I celebrate her.
And is that the last time you saw her
That's
too?
the last time I saw her.
Got it. And so I won't keep you too long, but it's my understanding that it's not uncommon from school to hear sometimes.
She did it like a few times.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that normally like when she's waiting for pick her up or?
Yeah. Sometimes to the office and pick her up.
Mhm.
She walks from school to here.
Okay.
She did it like maybe, I don't know, 5-6 times.
Okay. So just a few times she's done
Just a
that.
few times.
So that's why Jennifer would have come here yesterday to see if she had maybe.
Yes, maybe she
maybe come
walked
here.
here. Yeah.
Okay.
So as you know, with Jen Soto's narrative, she said she went to the school, she left home at 2:30, so that's like 90 minutes early because the lines, the queues to pick up the kids at school are so hectic. She was in the line, she was waiting, and then she waited 10 minutes and then thought, wow, did I miss Maddie? Okay, going straight to my mother's business. She didn't like, whoa, like, where's my daughter? She waited and thought, did I miss her? But how would you miss her if you're like first in line? But okay, did I miss her? Then she went to her mother's place of business, and then she was calling Maddie's best friend from there. Then she emailed the teacher from there. And then when she realized, whoa, she says when she realized Maddie was not at school that day, that's when she realized something was very, very wrong. But here we're hearing that sometimes Maddie would walk from school to her grandmother's place of business. Her grandmother's confirming it. So that's why Jen would do that. She would go from the school then to go, whoa, maybe she walked over there. Maybe she didn't realize I'm picking her up today and she went over there. So that's why, right? Okay.
And remember, the grandma's office was like 3 minutes from the school, but for some reason, Jen couldn't recall the name of her mom's office where your kid walks to from school all the time. Go ahead,
But she
Jen.
didn't remember the address.
Do you remember what Jennifer told you yesterday?
No, she's waiting here at school, but she doesn't come out. She's not. I don't think she's here. Maybe she walked to school to the office, and I was like, okay, I'll wait here.
Mhm.
It was 4:30, 4:35, 4:40, and she never showed up.
Okay.
So, and we went together to school, but the office were closed.
Mhm.
It was only the after program they were open.
Mhm.
So we went to verify to the school
Mhm.
and the program. She didn't. While we went to the school, she never made it to school.
Got it.
That's when we find out everything. She
Okay.
was.
But I wonder why Jen waited that long to call the two friends. Like if you're parked at the school for 90 minutes, you're an hour to an hour and a half early. Wouldn't you kind of panic a little bit and be like, whoa, let me call her friends quickly? Wouldn't you try to call her phone, or at that point you're already like, she forgot her phone at home? You know what I mean? Jess Jones says, do you think we'll get any other Stefan Sterns interviews, or will those be saved for court? I don't know. It's always a bit of a mission, a bit of a challenge to get things, but I do have some Stefan Sterns audio files to work through. We've already listened to one I think it was about 2 months ago. We listened to one which was about 45 minutes long. So we heard that one. We've seen the media interviews that they did. Of course, we will never forget those, burned into our eyes. And there's another interview or two that I have with Stefan Sterns. So we'll get to that. I've still got a lot to work through. This file is freaking massive. Okay, so all right. So then they all kind of find out together, wait, what? Like Maddie didn't make it to school that day? And then it's like, okay, that sounds like a bit of a panic, especially from the other family members.
School.
Did she tell you who took her to school yesterday?
I know Stefan, yes.
Okay.
Came here to, I don't even know, I guess for.
Gotcha. Okay. So does he live there with them still, or?
No.
She did say that she had Maddie's phone with her in the car, and she was going to give it to her and tell her, hey, you forgot this today. Of course, Maddie would know. She was 13 years old, so she'd be like, I mean, what 13-year-old would actually forget her phone?
Well, according to Jen and Stefan and Maddie both forgot their phone. Me and my grandson, when I take him to school in the mornings, we have a little checklist we go through about stuff we have and don't have. Yeah.
I still wonder, like, we've read so many documents and heard so many things, but I still wonder if Maddie's friends can corroborate that. Did Maddie sometimes forget her phone? Because it's very unusual for kids these days, or anyone these days, to forget their phone, right? Did she really? Or are they just saying that? You know, because they mentioned Maddie having ADHD and possibly being on the autism spectrum. But again, I say they don't mention that Maddie had asthma, because her friend said that Maddie had asthma. And in the backpack that we looked at yesterday, I've got some more pictures. I don't think I showed it yesterday, but her asthma pump was in that backpack. Okay, so it does seem like she had it. Point is, wouldn't you be worried? Like, oh my word, she's missing. Like, what if she's gone to the woods? What if she, they probably assumed she had her backpack, but of course Stefan knew she didn't. There's so many questions. This is what I mean. I've gone I've gone down the rabbit hole. I think I'm still in it a bit. There are so many questions that we all still have. I mean, I think it'll be a bit weird not to have questions, right? At this point, the more we hear, the more questions there are. Like Naomi says, Jen was first in line, but she thought she'd missed Maddie leaving. So she went to her mother's business, but she didn't check the church where she said that her stepfather would sometimes pick her up. Like that. Exactly like that. Oh my. And I wonder, in Jen's version of the story, because there's different versions of stories, okay? So I have to say it like that. In Jen's version of the timeline and story, when exactly did she see, oh crap, Maddie forgot her phone, and then she was going to give it to her later? When did she look through those messages? All of that. There's so many things, right? Michael says the mother get away without real punishment. Greetings from Germany. Thank you, Michael. The thing is, the police have said, which is interesting timing based on all this coming out, that there's no plans to arrest her. Adding for now. In some of the news clips, they said for now. According to a source, for now. I like the for now because you just never know. You just never know. Okay? So it's never too late for justice, depending on what evidence they can find. I'm sure they're working very hard behind the scenes.
No. Gotcha. He just came. Does he?
I guess he just came to visit.
Got it.
Yeah.
When did?
I'm not sure, but I know he moved back in December to Punta Gorda.
Mm-hmm.
He moved out of the house.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And as far as you know, it's because I guess that makes sense. But he came back this weekend, maybe for it. I guess, is it common of Stefan?
I guess sometimes he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got it. And did he say where he dropped her off at all?
He said he dropped her off in the corner of Urbana. There is a building there. It's called Urbana. Urbana. It's town loop, and I don't even know the name of the street.
Okay. By Urbana.
I was right in the corner.
Got it. So he dropped her off there, and then did he say what happened after?
He said that he just walked, like going to school.
I thought he told it was Peace Church that he allegedly dropped her off at. So he told you a different place. I have to go on the maps and see how close together them two places really were to each other.
And then she stopped for a few seconds. I guess she was looking for her phone.
Yeah.
And then he just kept going.
Okay. Run away before, or ever wanted to go somewhere else or hang out with her friends without permission or anything?
Not that I know.
Okay. Is there anywhere you know of that she likes to hang out or go to clear her head if she's ever upset, or a place that she likes to go?
One day she was upset. I guess she had a fight. And she called me crying. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm walking around the neighborhood. I was like, why are you doing that? She's like, I don't want to be in my house right now because I am mad. I was like, you know what? Go back to the house. Don't walk alone in the street. And she said, okay. So she went back. That's the only thing I knew. It happens. That was, I think, like a year ago. That happened like a year ago.
Okay.
And then after that, I don't know.
Got it. Okay. Do you have any concerns with, I just ask this because I have to, do you have any concerns about either Jennifer or Stefan with ever
just a quick pause at that moment. Do you have any concerns about Jennifer, Stefan, with Maddie? We'll wait for that answer now. Suzanne, exactly. You're like, they would never announce plans to arrest her. That's the point. Why would they ever say, oh, okay, wow, okay, people are refocusing, relooking, of course, at just people have many questions about Jen Soto. But we have no plans to arrest her. Why would you have plans to? And if you had plans to, why would you announce it? So good point, Suzanne. Good point. I don't know if Jen Soto ever will be arrested or not. I don't know. And I don't know for what, if she would be. I just know that the red flags are flying, okay? And everybody's got questions. I think they're valid questions because a 13-year-old lost her life. And this case is very, very difficult. Okay, let's keep going.
Raised alarm with you that you can remember?
I never liked him. Don't ask me why, because I don't even know myself. It's because I guess he doesn't work, he doesn't do anything. I mean, he's just there because he suffers from a lot of things.
Okay.
And I mean, he doesn't do anything, he doesn't work, he doesn't help you. It's something that, it's not my life, but I just ask her, that was her answer.
Got it.
Exactly. He's literally like freaking leeching off everyone, either his mom's house, okay, or Jen's house. Even Maddie told one of her counselors, like, he's so weird. And the counselor said, why? Meaning Stefan. Why is he weird? Because he just hangs around and he eats our food and he's just there. Clearly, we know it's a lot worse than just there. It was so much worse for Maddie. She had been sexually abused since at least the age of 8, based on evidence they found on his phone that he had tried to delete with his accidental factory reset.
According to Stefan's parents, him and Jennifer were together for at least 7 years. That puts it starting before Maddie. Probably the grooming started well before she was 8 years old.
That he did twice. So shame, man. Maddie's saying, well, he's just weird because he's always around there, kind of, hanging around, eating our food. So you can hear as well, Jen's mother also didn't like him. She had a gut feel. She said, I couldn't actually really say why, gut feel. But it's just like he's hanging around all the time, right? Yeah, Peniel's like, send me more books. He's going to ask his parents for more books and root beer candy. Oh, dear. While I'm here pausing, thank you so much. Just plain fed up. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. Please like and share so others can also hear this information. The more we go, the more questions I have. Oh, my goodness.
So typically...
No.
Not much?
Not much.
Do you remember the last time you spoke with her before Sunday?
Well, I spoke to her Friday, because she slept over my house.
Okay.
And then Saturday.
Okay, the timeline is getting refined. As I said the other day, I was like, wait, when it was this interview that I listened to, right? We had not listened to it together before. The grandmother says she stayed with me on Friday night. We are continuously trying to refine that timeline because I think when you can refine the timeline between Jen's story, Stefan's story, everybody else, what they know, okay, the deception starts showing up a little bit more. And unfortunately on Jen's part, like a lot of things start not adding up. So you remember?
Yeah, Butterfly, because according to what we've heard so far, Maddie was apparently at the grandma's for most of that week leading up to the birthday party. So I think she was there more than just the Friday night. I think that was just the last time grandma saw her, right?
Right, because Jen said Thursday and then Sunday, like she kind of switched it up when they asked her about that.
Well, and
the last time she saw her.
Stefan states that she was at the grandma's for the week. Jennifer makes comments about it because Jen was so busy doing all the work in her little part-time job. So I think Maddie was at the grandma's for most of the week and through the weekend, and then when the party ended on Sundays when she went back home.
But when they said to Jen, when did you last see Madeline? She had 3 different answers. The first answer was, in the morning, I saw her get ready for school. And Jen Soto was adamant that she knew exactly what Maddie was last seen wearing. She said, dark green hoodie, black shorts, white Crocs. And that backpack, okay? Which is covered in gray hibiscus flowers. Except she was apparently found in jeans. Who dressed her and when? I have questions. But the thing is, right there. So then she changed her story to Sunday, 11 o'clock. She actually slipped up and said Wednesday, 11. Oh, no, I mean Sunday, 11. Wednesday, 11 sounds more plausible to me because Stefan Sterns said for the entire week before he saw her on that Sunday, 25th, for that whole week, she stopped taking her meds because she was Maddie, because she was staying with her grandmother. Interesting. So I would like to know, what did Jen buy Maddie for her birthday? What did you do with your daughter on her birthday, which was on Thursday, by the way? The Sunday was her party, the 25th, right? Maddie's birthday was on the Thursday before. Was she at home? What happened? Some of her friends said in that document we read that Maddie was very upset because her mother didn't give her anything. Okay. So I'm just like, whoa, this timeline, the grandmother says she was with me on Friday night. See, Maddie was there for the weekend. So let's say after school, maybe Maddie walked over to the grandmother's place of business and went home for the weekend with her grandmother and then had her birthday party there and then was dropped off by Jen Soto's sister. Oh my goodness. So, okay. Carry on.
Day, I came here to work, and after here, I was going to the party.
Gotcha.
And I told my husband to was going to take her, and she started crying. She said no, she doesn't want to go. So she didn't go at all. So my ex-husband went to pick her up.
Okay.
And they spent the day together.
Do you ever
Saturday, Maddie spent the day with Yolanda, the grandmother's ex-husband, because she was crying and really didn't want to go home. Wow. Crying and really didn't want to go home. Was dropped off Sunday night because of school. Of course, she had school the next day. She was dropped off and was murdered. It's crazy. Maddie was crying and begging, I don't want to go home, please. I don't want to go home. There's a reason for that. Wow. Okay.
pick her up from school, or does your ex-husband ever pick her up from school?
Yeah. I don't know about my ex-husband, but when I have to, I'll go and pick her up. If not, Leticia.
And when you pick her up, where do you pick her up
Just
from?
from the school.
From the school.
Yeah.
Have you ever picked her up from like anywhere else far from the
Church.
school?
Church. Like,
Church.
of course, yeah, like from the church.
Is that somewhere that she hangs out, or other kids
No,
hang out, or
No. There's a lot of kids there at that time.
oh, they kind of go there?
Yeah, a lot of kids go there. The parents will pick them up from the church.
Got it.
Mhm.
Okay, got it. Okay, what's a good phone number for you? Have your ID, so
Okay, so that was redacted, but I just chopped out that long silent portion. Lennon says, and Stefan came on Saturday. I wonder why she was crying. She knew he was going to be home when she got there, right? It's all starting to kind of make sense. There's still obviously a lot of, I would say, speculation on our part based on what we're hearing. We don't have that evidence. I'm sure the police do, though. Because Jen Soto also about that says, when did Stefan come over? Oh, I don't know if it was Saturday or Sunday morning. And then later she says in a different, remember, we listened to it. If you haven't yet, I've made you that no commentary file so you can listen to it all at once. Later she says, well, he was on his way while the party was happening. While Madeline Soto's party was happening, Stefan was on his way. Oh, Sunday night. What about Saturday night, though? It's like, oh my goodness. That's Lennon says, Stefan came on Saturday. I wonder why she was crying. She knew he was going to be home when she got there. Very sus, all of that.
I can get your name down.
I have it in my.
Oh, that's fine. How do you spell your name?
YOLANDA.
And your last name?
Zambrano. Z is in
Okay.
929-67.
And you do have a Florida ID. I can look
Yes,
up with that.
yes.
Okay, cool. Gotcha. Okay. Well, is there anything else important that you think I should know?
Yeah, my brother-in-law, he woke up this morning.
Mhm.
He went to look at the trail,
Mhm.
and he was walking, and he passed by 417 under,
Mhm.
and he found the wallet. I have it.
When
here.
you say the trail, What trail?
It's like in the back of the school, there is a trail.
Oh, there's a trail behind the
Yes,
school.
Behind the school, yeah.
Okay, and you found a wall. Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
And
Let's
if
take
you
a-
want to come in and
Yeah.
take a look what he found, and
Uh-huh.
he just gave it to me, and I
1319.
found 20.
I hate to bug you, but while I have you out here,
Okay, so we got one of the roommates, Natalia. Janet mentioned that one of the roommates doesn't speak much English, only really Spanish, so the police really won't be able to ask her things. So I think it's the other one, because I only found one interview in this whole FOIA file from a roommate. Also, before I get to this, J.E. Everett says, my 13-year-old son listens to music on his phone every morning on the way to school. He has also never slept in the car on the way to school. Red flags for me. I mean, why is the story? Why is it that Maddie was sleeping most of the way to school? Firstly, it's quite a short ride. Of course, we know Stefan Sterns was riding around with her for quite some time and she was already deceased, according to what police said. But okay, sleeping most of the way. Why? She just woke up. She's 13 years old. She was all excited. She had a birthday party, right? So why is she sleeping most of the way? Oh my goodness. And then that's the point. Where's the phone? Where's the music? Where's it just doesn't make sense. Oh, this case is very frustrating. At least Stefan Sterns is very much locked up and charged, and his trial will be in October. He's supposed to have two separate trials, one for the CSAM charges and the other one for the murder charges. But I'm not sure if maybe they'll combine it at some point, because they actually continued his CSAM, child SA material.
Now, at the beginning of October, they're supposed to have a status hearing, and we are wondering if that's what it's for, to combine the charges and to just do one trial. We don't know yet. We'll see.
Trial, okay. It was supposed to be August 19th, but then suddenly on the court system it said continued, so it's been continued to October as well. I'm not going to say an exact date now. Initially it was the 14th or so for his for the homicide trial, but let's see, because these things change, right? So we shall keep an eye on it. Okay, so let's hear what the roommate has to say. So that was quite shortish from the grandmother as well, but also very informative, right? Helps a little bit with the timeline. So,
do you mind if I just ask you a couple things? Do you know why we're out here?
Since Monday morning.
Okay. When's the last time you saw?
Sunday afternoon.
Okay. Where was she?
She was here. I was leaving from probably like midday.
Mm-hmm. About what time was it?
And I'm always in and out, right? So I mean,
Okay.
once like midday, I was gonna go out with my son, like Sunday activities, and I wished her a belated birthday. Because I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I'm always in and out.
So it's afternoon around 6:30, you said?
No, like 12.
12.
Yeah.
Oh, so earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
And then they went. I think her family's house. By the time they came back, I'm already sleeping.
Did you see her at all? Oh no, so you didn't see her at all Sunday night. So they got back. What time did you go to bed?
I'm typically in bed by 8 or 9. I come to bed at 8:30.
So they.
okay, so the roommate is saying they typically go to bed, this roommate, at 8 or 9. Okay. People are asking about the cause of death. It's never been released to the public. There's something called Marcy's Law, I believe it is, in Florida, and therefore the family did not consent to that being released. And at press conferences, the police said they're not going to release that. So there's actually been a lot of speculation about what happened. A lot of people plausibly speculate that it could be something like strangulation, but we don't know definitively. Other rumors that were around with blunt force trauma and all sorts of things, but we don't know. The police have never released that. It's never been in any of the documents or anything like that. So we don't know. However, I was a little surprised to see some of the photos I'd received in this FOIA request. None of them are featuring Maddie or a graphic, except for seeing Stefan Sterns naked. And that was just for his booking photos, when they take pictures of their hands, front and back, and then chest, front and back. And then, of course, in this case, based on the charges he faces and some unique marking, they also made him take his pants off and took pictures. Okay, so that was the only thing that was in there like that. But I'm losing my train of thought with Maddie. Wait, cause of death. Oh, yeah. I was a little surprised to see they put like markers around what appears to be, as we saw on that like plastic bag earlier, it looks like it could be blood. Now, that's
It was, and we'll hear in a little bit when we go over the parents' interviews. Remember, that was Stefan's father's car. His car was at home in NothPort. because apparently he didn't take very good care of his car and Dad didn't trust the car. So he drove Dad's car. But that's also the car that Dad hauled the dogs around in. And he talks about the stuff that's in the car. So you'll hear that coming up.
Very concerning as well. Like, what on earth was going on there, right? Stefan's like, ew. Yeah, can't unsee that. I made Mr. Grizzly look so that I feel better. Whoops, sorry. Look at these photos. Can you? Wow. And he's like, what? I was like, this is the room. And I'm explaining the whole case, of course, to the cast, to Mr. Grizzly. And I'm like, you have to. So I have to share this with someone because it's bad. I never want to see it again.
Oh my God, she sounds like me. Look at this cat. Cat jumps on my bed. You scared me. Now look at what I'm looking at. Can you believe this? Because you guys aren't here when I'm doing some of this sometimes.
Again, I hate it when they just, these photos are there unexpectedly. But anyway, it's part of the case. Okay, so I will never share it with you guys. I promise. I will protect you from all of that. All right, so roommates. They are also, I wanted to clarify the room layout quickly because I realized yesterday I was speaking about something and people think that I think I said something that makes it seem like the rooms I have them very confused, right? Which could happen sometimes, but Maddie's room, which is so sad for a girl who just turned 13. She didn't even have her own room. She had this little partitioned off area and there was a bed there. And then on that same floor, the ground floor, right around the corner next to that is a room, which is Jen Soto's room, apparently, right? The master bedroom downstairs with a king bed, and there's a TV in there. All right. And then upstairs are 3 rooms. And one, Jen Soto says, is the guest bedroom. Okay. Which looks more to be Stefan Sterns' room. His stuff is in it. Okay. All his stuff is in it. There's clothing in there. There's cream in there, a backpack, there's clothing in the drawers, as I say, there's all sorts of things. He's like cards and games and books. It seemed like it's Stefan Sterns' room, but okay. Anyway, and then there's 2 other rooms with roommates, and one of the roommates had a 17-year-old son as well. So that's everyone living in the house, right? So just to clarify that. Melly, thank you.
I thought we read in the documents he was 15, so I wonder if that's changed. That's interesting. And he lived there half the week. So another, no shade at the kids at all. But when I was growing up, my dad had 4 daughters and 1 son. Son was the youngest. We didn't walk out of our rooms unless we were dressed appropriately, even for bed. Little house coats, things like that. So why did Maddie remember we talked about it last night. Why is this child in a makeshift room in the middle of the house? When everybody else, come on, that's ridiculous.
She needed her privacy.
Exactly. She had no privacy anywhere she went in there. No wonder she never wanted to go home.
Okay, let's quickly continue. I'm just going to go back so we don't miss a thing here. Here we go.
So it's afternoon around 6:30, you said?
No, like 12.
12.
Yeah.
Oh, so early.
Gotcha. And then they went, I think, together for her family's house. By the time they came back, I'm already sleeping.
Did you see her at all? Oh, no, so you didn't see her at all Sunday night. So they got back. What time did you go to bed?
I'm typically in bed by 8, and when I come to bed, it's 8:30.
So they were back much later, I think, though.
I want to say like an hour and a half later, maybe.
Did you see them at all Monday morning?
By the time I was leaving Monday, no, I think I was leaving too early. I leave like around 7:45.
Okay, so this roommate leaves at around 7:45. Let me check what I've scribbled down from the rabbit hole I've been done. Jen says she woke up, between 7 and 8, around 7:30 to 8. That also changes. And at 7:35, Stefan Sterns was at the dumpster for the first time. He'd been there like 4 times, okay? 7:35. So now you tell me, if there's activity in the home, people are waking up, they're having maybe some coffee, breakfast, they're showering, and you're telling me that Stefan Sterns is carrying a body out of that house? When? What time? How does Jen not know? How do the others not know? There's a lot of questions. Okay? And also, you know what's so freaking suspicious? Is room number 4, the guest bedroom, which looks like Stefan's room, right? Can you imagine being Jen Soto? Okay, your daughter's missing. You've now found this out on Monday evening. She's missing. You go home and you think, she was lost up there with Stefan. Let me go check if anything's sus in there. when you walk in that room, we saw some pictures yesterday. You walk in that room, okay? There's a shirt on like this little bench. There's a backpack. There's books, as I say, and cards and things. In the drawer is a gun in a holster. There's a tripod. There's literally something called it's masturbation cream. Okay, it's I've got pictures of the cream. I haven't shown you that yet, but anyway. And then there is a male specific sex toy on charge. It's called a fleshlight. If you've never looked that up, good luck. Uncle Google will show you things, okay? But like, what in the hell? That's exactly what it looks like. I've zoomed in a lot to make sure. Is that what it is? It seems like that's what it is. Wouldn't that be if you're a mother, okay, and then you walk into the room where your daughter spent her last night because now she's missing, okay? Wouldn't you be freaking out? It's like, oh my word, there's a flashlight on charge. There's a gun. She probably knew about the gun. Yes, she did. She told the police. Okay. And then there's like his clothing's here and all of this. Like, what is going on over here? Isn't that a bit weird? Oh, so many questions. Anyway, that makes me think she knew about a few things. Okay. Anyway, so that she's not so in the dark like some people think. I don't think so. I'm starting to think it less and less and less.
Oh my God. Sometimes Google should not be your friend. And it's not flashlight, it's fleshlight for you brave souls. What, Grizzly here had to witness Stefan's privates in a photo and got totally grossed out. But oh Lord!
What did you do, Salty?
I had to go Google it. I didn't Google half torso doll because I kind of imagination can speak for itself. But I didn't know what no fleshlight was. I needed to go see Firefly. Yeah, y'all can use your imagination. It's like a flashlight.
I will.
A flashlight, but not. Okay.
To go to the other side of like, I think she knew quite a lot more. Debs in Space said, thanks for protecting us. Yeah. From that. It's much smaller. Okay, sorry. And why did Maddie have the spare room? It's not even a room, right? It's a partitioned off area, not even the guest room. Why would you give your daughter no room, have her sleeping basically?
Look, I was willing to go Google Rex Heuermann's sex toys. I couldn't help myself.
Kind of in the living room kitchen area. All right. Partition it off with room dividers where any roommates, if they come downstairs, your daughter's right there. It's so weird. And then have a guest room for Stefan, for Prince Stefan. She calls it guest room. Who are the guests? Tell me, who are the guests? I don't see guests coming over. I see Stefan's stuff in there. And things that are in there that guests won't want to see. They don't want to see that. No, they don't. There's also a TV in there. But anyway, moving on. Sorry, I'm talking a lot.
So no, I typically don't see them.
We've probably gone before they even got up, maybe. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because I have to drop off my son early because I start right at 9.
Okay. So. Got it. So you're normally up and out by 7:45, and they're not even out yet.
Yeah, it's normal for me not to see them.
Stefan, how long has he been staying here?
Stefan was staying here for a good 6 months, and then he moved out maybe like 3 or 4 months ago.
Which matches the timeline of Jen also saying he moved out around December. We've read all those documents saying he moved out in December. So you tell me if Jen, she said in those police interviews, we're trying to get him back over here. So he's still your boyfriend, even though you broke up. I don't know what the relationship, I don't know what's going on there. Okay, apparently his friend, Stefan's parents described their relationship as, just friends with benefits. But the benefits clearly he wasn't there for Jen. He was there for Maddie. Why? If you haven't had your boyfriend staying over for months or since December, he's been there maybe 2 or 3 times. Now he's come over and you send him upstairs with your daughter? That doesn't make any sense. That's weird. Okay, yeah, Melissa's like, especially with roommates. That, shame, man. Those roommates are supposed to be thinking back and going, what? Wow, Rhonda, thank you so much. Oh my word. It's like, I get so angry with this case, actually. The more I hear it, the more I'm like, what?
Less than that, I'm not really good with time.
You know why I moved out?
I mean, it was only temporary. So he was living here. for a little bit longer so he can kind of figure it out.
Mhm.
And I thought,
Gotcha. You heard anything in the house recently that might give us a clue into, why she's not here now, why she's missing?
no, she has ADHD, so sometimes she has issues regulating her emotions. I didn't hear anything at all, really. Like, I really mind my own business.
Oh yeah, I mean that makes sense.
But because I'm out early, I come in, I make dinner, we make homework, and books.
Yeah. So he's not living here right now, Stefan. When did he get back?
So I found out that he got back to just, I guess, visit really Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the roommate didn't even know he was really there. Like, oh, I found out he was like visiting on Sunday night. But he may have been there from Saturday. We just don't know. That's still yet to be clarified. But they didn't even really know he was quite there. Like, wait, he was there, right? Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah. Heather says, and did you see the chain lock on the inside of the bedroom door so no one can get in? That is kind of strange, especially if on a guest bedroom. Yeah, I saw. This is one of the roommates' rooms. I know this like orange, like, audio visualizer thing is blocking the pictures a little bit, but this is one of the roommates' rooms. I think this is room number 3. So, okay. Also, if you missed it, I see a lot of people are very confused about what was in room number 4. So, one more time. A backpack, Stefan Sterns' backpack. In it was lotion. It's literally masturbation cream. It says to take your me time to the next level. It's an orange bottle and it's lotion that says it's for masturbation. It's not just lube. It's like, I don't know what it does exactly. Okay. It's got special powers. Who knows? And then he had what I'm 99% sure it is, based on putting that thing through reverse Google searches. Shame. Just making sure. He had a male specific sex toy on charge in the room. It's like you could see the cable and then it's like charger. Oblivious. Benson says, I think it's so weird. She never asked the cop, hey, why are you asking me these questions about my missing daughter and where my boyfriend's live? I know, right? Jen Soto didn't ask like, hey, what do you mean there's like the sex crimes unit is here? Violent crimes? Why? Why are they here? I thought this is like a missing persons case. She's just like, oh, okay. Like so calm. It's unbelievable.
Jen says, okay. The same damn thing Stefan's dad says when they interview him. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Mia Spaghetti said, I think the police made a deal with the devil. There's no way JS didn't know what was going on. She's covering for SS. Thanks, Mystery. I don't think they made any deals yet. I think if I had to speculate, and I've seen Vinnie Politan on his own channel also speculate, which I'm like, oh yeah, you see, it does make sense. They might want her as a witness, at his trial. Makes sense. She'll have the most information there and all of that. Who knows if later, if there could be any charges brought. Pretty powerful witness to have there, right? Rhonda, welcome. Okay, so let's keep playing this. So the roommate was saying, well, I think he was there from Sunday night. Yeah. Oh, okay.
I didn't even know he was here, to be honest with you.
Oh, so Sunday you didn't see him at all. And
No,
Sunday night you
right.
didn't know he was here till today. Okay.
I found out he was here Monday afternoon once everything kind of blew up.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Because I don't come home from work until like I pick him up and everything. Like 5:30.
And I mean, is there anything concerning or any red flags you can think of in the house that we should be concerned about, or anything that we can use to help find her?
The only thing, and it's just because, I mean,
Never know who you're talking to, obviously. Yeah.
Right, but that's like the Roblox stuff. That seems to be the generation thing.
Okay. Is this her family?
No.
Different people?
I think so. Yeah, we have a whole bunch of people that stay. I don't think she would expect anybody.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. If there's anything else important you think it could help me find her?
but I'm going. I mean, it is. It's just weird, like he typically doesn't drop her off. It's just like a whole bunch of coincidences. So I don't know. I just
Exactly. The roommate's got that gut feel. She's like, you know what? He typically doesn't drop her off. This is just a whole lot of coincidences. It's weird. I don't even know if he was here. I think he was here from Sunday. The roommate is flying that red flag. Of course, for Stefan Sterns at that point, but who knows what else went on, in that house. It's quite scary. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we're about halfway there now.
Okay.
This is weird, but I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Your IDs on you?
Let me say it again, just in case. I think because I see it with the chat, a lot of people are very confused about what's in Stefan Stern's room. It's masturbation cream and a masturbation toy, if that makes sense. If you didn't know that there's male-specific masturbation toys, they are. Okay? If you type in, and I'm warning you, trigger warning, be careful with it, you might get a fright. Flesh, light. Like flashlight, but flesh, light. You will find a picture of what I'm talking about. Okay? He had that on charge. It looks like there's a cable connected to it of some sort. And cream. Okay? In the room, that's what I'm saying. So if you're Maddie's mother and you're like, oh my word, she's missing. That night it's now hit you. She's missing, you're panicking, you're anxious. Okay? And you go upstairs and you're like, she was last here with my boyfriend. I sent them to sleep. That's the story, right? And you go in that room. Wouldn't you be a little shocked if you find all of that in there? Probably not. Maybe Jen wasn't shocked because maybe she knew all along. Maybe that's just Stefan's room with all his stuff. Don't touch it. It's like, he's so childish that maybe he's just like, it's almost that vibe, don't touch my stuff, mom. Because it's just like bumming off everyone. He's just moving in wherever he can. Freeloading off everyone, right? My goodness. How do I say your name? Ash? Welcome. Okay, so now family member. I think it is. I wanted to make double sure. They say family member is what the file is called. Family member of Madeline Soto. I think it's Maddie's aunt. I think it's Jen Soto's sister. Okay. Yeah. Phenomenal. Says that's completely inappropriate to have sitting out in front of the kids. I know, right? Yes, indeed. Okay. And I would be freaking out if that's the last place your daughter was.
Is it could you take it out for me? I don't want to take your whole wallet. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you. And you guys from here, or did you just hear about it and come over?
We live 5 minutes
We live
away.
right here.
Oh, okay.
I'm staying with her.
And I just yesterday we were printing flyers, we were passing them out.
I want to pull you guys into shape. Do you have a handicap tag?
No.
Okay, you want to move it just so I don't want anybody to come out that needs it,
Sure.
and we're blocking that.
So Maxi345 said Stefan's father was supposedly paying $600 a month for the rent on that room number 4. I did see that on Plunder's community post today. And it made me go, because, we just add all this together and like, oh my word. No wonder it's the guest room. It's Stefan's room. Guest room. Again, is it for Prince Stefan? When he arrives, he can just stay there. And he apparently moved out because he was going to work with his dad, but that fell through. And Jen said, so we're trying to get him back here. But apparently, Christopher Stern said, I'm cutting you off. I'm not going to pay for that room the whole time. You find your own way. Obviously, like, oh my word, this guy's 37 years old. Wow. Okay.
It's already going.
So Wolf Machine says, why couldn't Maddie go to her room? So Stefan and Jen say that she didn't like to, and actually her grandmother also said she doesn't like to sleep alone. She's scared at night to sleep alone, right? So that's what I was going on about yesterday. Like, could she not be either in her room or with Jen? Why would Jen say, I need a good night's sleep and now you must go upstairs with him? You know what I mean? I think it's because Maddie wouldn't want to sleep alone. But for Jen, the mother who's supposed to protect her, just be like, yeah, just go. And at the same time, have the story of, I used to be hyper vigilant. Yeah, I would never trust a man around my daughter, not even my dad. Okay, what changed? Don't lose that gut instinct now. Oh my. Sorry, go a little bit forward. Lot of wind.
Aside from Jen and your mom, have you talked to anybody else?
Our families we're staying in contact with all our family. We're sending out any information that we know.
And nobody's heard from her. Do you have any cousins or anything that she's close with?
Yeah, we have a lot of cousins, but we've reached out again, nothing.
Haven't heard from her. Do you guys know of any boyfriends, anything like that? Girlfriends?
As far as we know, no.
Okay.
She does gaming, so we told the detective about like her Roblox.
Right.
I think she has Instagram.
Okay, so you guys have spoken with the detective?
Very, very little, but yes.
She was trying to reach somebody, and what did you call?
Detective Hunt.
Okay, gotcha.
We just want to be kept informed.
Yeah, no, 100%.
We haven't heard anything. Like in 2 days, it's been nothing.
Yeah, we are working on a lot of stuff. We don't talk about the process. I know that that's annoying, but we have reasons for that, and
yes.
we want to make sure that we do everything 100% right the whole time. Here's my business card. We are going to be here for a little bit. We can't really provide you with more information, but by all means, if you guys come up with anything that you want us to know,
of course, yeah.
Email is probably best because the other number is a desk phone, and obviously we're not there. But if you shoot me an email, it'll come to this phone, and I can check it. Okay.
How do we go about?
Andrew says Stefan's parents were probably relieved to get him away from their home and Jen took that cash. Probably, yes. Jem says, why would Jen ask Stefan to stay over so he could help her with Maddie? But she was off work on Monday. I know. Right? Why? She had the day off on Monday. She went to go do some blood work, she says. And then she just chilled. Till she had to go fetch Maddie at school. That's what she said. So she needs her sleep. She needs them to get out of her room. Go upstairs. You guys go sleep in that room upstairs. Okay. Because she needs good rest for her day off on Monday. Okay. Doesn't matter. What about her daughter? Why would her daughter not need good rest for her whole week ahead of school after staying with the grandma for whether it's 3 nights, 2 nights, a week? I don't know. You know, for her birthday, basically. Okay, now she's back home. A little bit late-ish, 9:30ish. Why can't Maddie rest well? And if Stefan's there, 10ish or whatever it is, and then Jen gets home, and then what time? Maybe that's why they say the story and then say Maddie was sleeping in the car all the way to school. Well, based on their timeline and not having a decent bedtime for a 13-year-old who's going to school the next day, yeah, that would make sense then. Except a lot of it's a lie. Okay.
Maybe they're getting a funding for a reward or something. Maybe somebody saw something and they'll come out and anonymously say, you know what,
Yeah.
How do we do that?
If you're trying to do it on a level as like a GoFundMe for the family,
Yeah.
That's something that you
We can
guys
do that
have to do.
privately.
Yeah, we can't participate in that.
Right.
Um,
But do you have anything else?
we're working on our
Police-wise?
end to see. So there's certain criteria that has to be met for different things, like Amber Alerts and stuff like that. And that's stuff that we're working on. Unfortunately, it's not up to us, right? Like if we could, we would put one out for everybody because we get a lot of help that way. So, but it is being worked on in the back end. But by all means, if you guys want to start a GoFundMe, you can. I will tell you this. Typically, if we can't stop you guys from doing anything like that, typically the more that stuff gets out into the media, the harder it makes it for us, right? So
think of that.
yeah, sometimes that's how it works. But
So
by
should
all
we
means,
wait?
I media sometimes is they put information out there that's not accurate, and that can sometimes hurt our investigation. But again, I can't tell you. You guys do what you feel need to do as a family. We're going to be doing everything on our end for you guys. By all means, communicate with us if you come up with anything. Like I said, we'll be here for a few hours. You have Detective Hunt's information. You have my information. And you can always just call the sheriff's office and say, I need to speak
bug
to
you every day and just
you can bug me every day. You can bug me
Last
every day.
question. This is what frustrates me.
Yes, sir.
8 hours. It took us
8
hours.
8 hours for what?
The school didn't notify. She'd never.
What is the procedure for school?
I'm not typically, from what I know with Orange County Public Schools, and again, I can't really speak on their procedures because we don't work for them. But it was my understanding that they typically send out like text to parents or something.
At least something or a phone call.
Yeah,
Hey, the kid is not here the first period.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell us that she's sick?
Yeah, that's something
That's
that
the first
you should
do,
bring
right?
up to them. And I don't know if it's an automated system or how that works and how the text messages go out or what Jen may have set up with them. If it I don't know if some people can choose email, some people choose phone calls, some people choose text. But unfortunately, we can't speak on Orange County Public Schools.
Yeah.
I just know that typically, I was just
find
speaking to another parent reference a situation like this, and they got text messages.
Just my thought process is 8 hours.
Yeah.
She's in Georgia.
Yeah.
Already. You know what I'm saying? But she's at the port.
Right.
This is the way that I think.
Yeah. Do you guys know anything she would have been upset about or anything?
No, Sunday she had a great birthday. She was happy.
Great birthday.
Like she got a whole bunch of gifts. She had a lot of money. She didn't take any money with her.
Right.
Like if she was
time with me on
trying
Saturday.
to run away.
Yeah.
We were cleaning the backyard. Poop.
Yeah.
We were. I have a van that travel. It's right in front. They checked it already.
Yeah.
We were working on that. Doing little things in there.
Yeah.
And then she helped me with the front yard, cleaning up. She's like that with me. We'll do things. And then I took her to. Burger King. For a Whopper.
Shame. So because he's saying that Maddie spent the day with him on Saturday, they just say this file is family member, so they don't say names or anything. So it sounds like it could be the grandmother's ex-husband because she said that Maddie spent Saturday. Could be. Shame, man. But here's emotion. There it is. Oh, family finally. You know what I mean? Like showing emotion. I mean, compared to Jen. And of course, Stefan, who isn't actually family. Creepy groomer predator.
Can you imagine how her grandmother must feel knowing that that child cried and didn't want to go home, and then she ended up going home and then this happened? So I can't imagine that staying with them would be real comfortable for Jen right now. So where the hell are you, Jennifer Soto?
Yeah, Stefan. So, man, he took Maddie to Burger King. Let's go back a little bit.
The backyard. Poop.
Right.
We were. I have a van that travel. It's right in front. They checked it already.
Yeah.
We were working on that. Doing little things in there.
Yeah.
And then she helped me with the front yard, cleaning up. She's like that with me. We'll do things. And then I took her to. Burger King. For a Whopper.
Right.
I had a double whopper. Fries. Such a fun night.
It was great.
Do you remember who was there at the party tonight?
All our family, we have a big family here.
Friends from school, right?
She had 2 friends from school. They talked to them already.
So family like is you guys aunts, uncles.
Aunts, uncles, cousins.
So she gets along with everybody?
Yeah, and she had 2 friends at the party.
From school, right?
From school, and they were having a blast. They were outside. They went to the park. They came back.
The party was here?
No, it was at my mom's house in Orlando.
Did she go with to the
No,
party?
I took her and I dropped.
Yeah,
that's
so I
the
dropped her
problem.
off
Yeah.
8:30 at night. I told her, she takes supplements. I said, take your meds, take a shower. I left, and then 10:30 afterward.
Oh, so she back here to meet her, or did she go to the party and meet her there?
No, here she got out at like I don't know 10. She had to ask her, but she said she got here around 10:30.
She's a little disabled, like emotionally type of thing, but she can have a part-time with Disney and all that stuff. She finally got another job with them because they're giving the run around. And we have to watch the baby, and she helps. Stefan is over to help her. She asked him to come and help her.
Right.
These few days because she was in training and all that stuff, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning. It's tough.
And she says that there was some days that she was going to get out at 1 a.m. So
she
that's
always
why
takes us to
she
school.
needs some help.
I'm going to write something on the back of the business card because while you guys can reach out to me, I'm going to give you the lead detective's information.
Okay,
But like I said, if you guys think of anything, please let us know. Right now, we're just in the process of collecting as much information as we can. That's why we're here. We're working in other places as well.
Yes, that was my next question. Like, I know you.
We just got 5 minutes left. I'm actually just going to go a few minutes back because there were some interesting little details there about the timeline as well. So here we go again.
Aunts, uncles, cousins.
So she gets along with everybody?
Yeah, and she had 2 friends at the party.
From school, right?
From school, and they were having a blast. They were outside. They went to the park. They came back.
The party was here?
No, it was at my mom's house in Orlando.
See, at my mom's house. So it sounds like this is, I'm careful to say, I could just say, but I'm careful to say, it sounds like it's Maddie's grandfather and Maddie's aunt, right? Willow is being naughty here. Okay, so they're talking about the party on Sunday, February 25th. And they're saying Maddie had a great time. There were 2 of her friends there and all of that, right? Okay, so let's keep listening.
Did she go with to the
No,
party?
I took her and I dropped.
Yeah,
that's
so I
the
dropped
problem.
her off
Yeah.
8:30 at night. I told her, she takes supplements. I said, take your meds, take a shower. I left, and then 10:30 afterward.
Oh, so she back here to meet her, or did she go to the party and meet her there?
No, here she got out at like I don't know 10. She had to ask her, but she said she got here around 10:30.
She's a little disabled,
Around 10:30. I wonder if that means Jen got home, right? At 10:30, I think. And Maddie.
Yeah, Jen got home at 10:30. Maddie was home at 8:30. Stefan shows up at 8:45 because he knew exactly when that child was coming home. Because you're going to hear how much time him and Jen spent on FaceTime together.
Maddie was dropped off at about 8:30. That's what I'm getting from that timeline, which does make sense based on everything we've read and heard. And then Stefan apparently arrived at like 9. Like within half an hour, because he needs to help a 13-year-old get ready for bed.
Yeah, Doodle. Jennifer is a little disabled, according to her family member here, and that will be elaborated on a little more when we listen to Stefan's parents talk in a few.
Yeah, sure. Needs to help her take her.
And she can only work part-time. Apparently, Jennifer was also on disability. Didn't want to lose her benefits, so she could only work part-time. So there again, you got a part-time job, but you need all that rest. Oh my God.
Infuriating.
With Disney and all that stuff. She finally got another job with them because they're giving the run around. And we have to watch the baby, and she helps. Stefan is over to help her, she asked him to come and help her.
Right.
You know, these few days because she was in training and all that stuff, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning and stuff.
And she says that there was
that's
some
why the
days
reason
that she was
she
going to
didn't
get out
take
at
her to
1
school.
a.m. So
She
that's
always
why
takes us to
she needs
school.
some help.
I'm gonna write something on the back of the business card because while you guys can reach out to me, I'm gonna give you the lead detective's information.
Okay, please.
But like I said, if you guys think of anything, please let us know. Right now, we're just in the process of collecting as much information as we can. That's why we're here. We're working in other places as well.
Yes, that was my next question. Like, I know you guys have to cross everything off, and that's good. What about other possibilities?
Everything's being addressed. So everything that we can possibly address at this time. There's detectives all over the county and in other counties. I mean, this isn't actually even our county right now. So we have multiple detectives and law enforcement officers in general, forensics investigators. We're just trying to collect as much information as we can. So by all means,
we understand.
Yeah,
we just want to be kept.
Yeah.
So I will say you might not be updated every single like 5-10 minutes, but there's a lot of effort. I was with Hunt yesterday, and we've been out since yesterday I came out personally at 3 p.m. and we're still out doing everything. So
and the other thing is we have to communicate. We don't have the ability to call everybody to give them updates. So what I always tell people is, I know you may not hear from us, but literally the second we get updates and information, we will reach out to them. And then they can disseminate that information to you guys as they see fit. But unfortunately, we don't have the ability to call everybody and say, hey, this is what's going on, just because we can only speak. Okay.
Yeah, I just know sometimes like I think about asking them, like,
questions, and you guys can reach out with questions. I'm just saying we will not be able to call you. But if she has a question that she thinks of, tell her not to hesitate to reach out to us, and we will answer when we're able to. There are guidelines of when we can do certain things. So, but we're with you guys, and we're gonna do everything that we can.
It really depends how the process works.
Okay, we've just got 4 minutes or so left. Vikings FC said, what if Jen's actually covering up for what she thinks was an accidental overdose? Stefan might have been helping Jen dose Maddie up to make life easier for Jen and, of course, for himself. In a lot of the CSAM material from those charges and documents that we'd read before, it's on the playlist if you didn't hear it, they said that it appeared that Maddie was sleeping while a lot of those pictures were being taken. So that's very scary. By sleeping, I hear drugged, tranquilized, put to sleep. That's what I hear. And it's generally around that like 3 a.m. type of time, right?
I remember the teachers were talking about how Maddie was laying her head down in class, appeared tired all the time. Yeah, we know why, because he was drugging her. Good Lord.
Yeah. A big red flag to me as well is Jen saying that on Saturday night she forgot to take her meds, so she wasn't herself on Sunday. That is a huge red flag to me because clearly everything happened on Sunday night. So I just worry about that as well. The Pan Pepper said, this is a very painful case. Hugs. Grizzly, lurkers, fellow patrons, of course, Gisela and mods, everyone leave your DNA on the like button. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. I could not do this without you. I don't think it would be healthy to spend this much time down that rabbit hole if I wasn't able to talk about it with you. Thank you so much all for being here. Thank you for your comments on, all the videos and all the live streams we're doing. I read all of them and it's very insightful. You guys make me think. And then I'm like, wait. We have to go dig. We have to find. Because what? My goodness, it just makes me so mad. Maddie, she had no one protecting her. And I mean, her mother was responsible for that because she was in the custody of her mother. One would think that would be okay, but clearly in this case, it was not. Just so sad. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Would you suggest that we could do next? Like yesterday, we were out, passing the flyers.
Yeah.
Wait,
is your
family members, especially the ones that are closest with her, know, like, hey, the second you hear from her, you need to let us know.
She's with Steven.
Communicate that to detectives, because at the end of the day,
I came down also to
Our
help
biggest
out.
concern is her safety, right? We don't care about anything else. We don't care. She could walk up to me right now and be like, I robbed a store, and I'd be like, okay.
Okay, it's redacted parts. Shh.
I'd rather do that than stay here with them.
Okay.
What about I know you guys did like a search yesterday. What can we do like the search? Like,
so it's best. It's best that you don't right now because we are continuing our search and we don't. I'm not saying you can't drive around to our favorite places and look if there's anything you think of like that. Yes, but as far as like I don't know, walking through woods or something like that, I would tell you not to do that because we are doing that and we don't want anything to really be like contaminated or anything like that.
Imagine that, straight out of law enforcement's mouth. Don't go search. We'd rather you not. Sebastian went missing the same day, and we all know what that rabbit hole went down with all the people over there running their mouths about that case. But we tried to say it was common when that kind of thing happens that they ask you not to go search, but people don't want to hear the truth.
But by all means, if like I said, if you guys think of something that you think.
I'm sorry, Butterfly. What was that?
Could it also be by that time they already pretty much knew?
Well, I think
not
they were starting,
but had an idea.
They knew they were lying, or that I think they were aware that Stefan and Jen were. I don't know if they were aware yet that Jen was completely untruthful, or if her interview was done. I know the TV station, I think, interview was done that night. So I think the cops were well aware something was going on, but the family itself didn't. But it's standard for them to say that.
Right.
They don't need everybody out in those woods searching. You contaminate things. You come across things you probably don't want to see if you were to find her. And if you did find her, you're going to be able to refrain from running up and grabbing her. The minute you do that, you've contaminated the scene, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
People don't think about that when of course you're not. When your child's missing and you're running around trying to find them and you're actively looking, if you find your child, you're not going to be able to stand back. So
no, because I had a friend that lost her brother and the father found both of them. It was a kayaking accident.
Oh no!
And he found them both.
Yeah.
And yeah, he never recovered from that.
Exactly. It's really hard, and the last thing you do want is a parent to accidentally, or a family member to accidentally mess up your crime scene, because it could cause problems, moving forward. But they are actively out searching. They're the professionals, They'll let you know when there's a time. They start calling for the community to come out and help. That's different.
Right.
The searches being conducted, and there's groups showing up for those. They go through a briefing. They're not just like, okay, everybody show up at the church and then disperse and go where you want. No, it's a coordinated effort, and everybody involved or that's there are going to be talked to and guided through the process of it.
Right.
Because you don't.
Church and so forth.
Yeah.
Think should be looked into, let us know, and then we will prioritize based on the information that we get and see what's best for us to do next.
All right, good.
But no, you don't have to stop looking.
I don't think she ran away. Like, I don't think she would have said that.
That 8-hour differential just kills me.
Yeah. And speak to the school. And do you guys are there other juvenile kids in school within your family?
My daughter, but they go to separate schools.
Yeah, and that's something that Jen may need to speak to the school and just be like, hey, in the future, I need notification.
I hope that. I can say, listen, this happened here. You got to be aware of what's happening around the neighborhood.
Yeah, I think the information is getting out. I mean, we've gotten contact that the information is spreading. So, and we want that, right? We want as much help as we can get, but we don't want fake information out there, right?
And that the overpass. I've been there. Okay, traffic in the morning with the kids and the parents. That's what I'm saying.
We're looking into all of that. Yep. we're doing everything that we can for you guys, and we'll be here with you guys the whole time. Okay.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're gonna get back to it, and if you guys have anything, then please reach out. Okay.
We're only 5 minutes away. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
sir.
much.
Okay, and that's it. So Roaring Titty says, who didn't take their meds that Saturday night? Jen. And Jen says that she herself was not herself on Sunday. I raise a red flag to that. Especially because she says in weeks prior, right? Weeks leading up to this, she said that, she was just, Jen said about herself, she said, I was acting like a little bit crazy, and her and Maddie had an argument, and she had apparently told Maddie that she's going to disown her when she turns 18, or like ship her off to her dad, but she can't remember saying that. And just the way she described herself in that interaction, speaking to her daughter, a child, and then pairing that with she forgot to take her own meds on Saturday and wasn't herself on Sunday. I just worry a little bit about that, right? Okay, so Janet's like, alibi of not being responsible. Naomi says, but Jen was working on Sunday. I know, she was working on Sunday and came home that evening and then had Monday off. She had Monday off and she just wanted to sleep and sleep in, had some blood work to do in the morning, and wanted Stefan apparently to come over and help with taking the dog for a walk and taking Maddie to school. But I don't know why. Why would Jen have to ask Stefan for that? Her actual ex-boyfriend, allegedly, because they apparently broke up in December. Although she said we wanted to get him back here. My goodness. So why would she not just let Maddie stay at her grandparents' house? Because she liked it there. She had a great birthday party. Why can't she just sleep over there? Spend time with her friends, have a birthday, and then just like pass out, after a whole day of, I don't know, like birthday cake and running around. A child would be exhausted, to get home then at like 8:30 and be like, damn, I need to go to bed. But now there's Stefan's arrived to help get her ready for bed. What? Shame, man. Poor Maddie. Oh my goodness. So Elbows mom, thank you. Nice to see you. Said thank you for still covering Maddie's case. I'm so scared she'll be forgotten before all the people guilty of her abuse and murder are in jail. I don't think she'll be forgotten here. I don't think so. No, we don't let things like that go, right? There must be evidence. We don't know if the police have evidence to charge Jen Soto with anything. At this point, they're saying there's no plans to, but not that they would plan to arrest her. But we'll have to just wait and see. Time will tell. But just know that in minutes, sometimes it can take years, many years. At the end of the day, if there's evidence, someone will be charged and be held accountable. And then will be innocent or proven guilty. If proven guilty, convicted. Okay, so I just quickly want to see, there's like another few seconds here. What is it? Just read your comments while I'm playing this. Goodness, okay. Yeah?
Detective Funko, Orange County Sheriff's Office, February 28th, 2024, 10:07 hours. Present was Detective Chang, case number 24-11313. And that was, we were approached by
the
Soto 3790. Juan Gilberto Soto Jr., 10/23/1953.
Okay, and that's it.
End recording 10:08.
That's what we have. So today we heard from the security guard, the grandmother, one of the roommates, as well.
Alberto Soto Jr. That must have been her dad. Okay. Wow. I mean, well, we didn't hear that part today of these stuff. That's kind of all like, it's the parents' interviews that are going to be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can do it this way. Let me check something real quick.
And when I said none of it makes sense, I meant in the sense that Okay, she didn't get home so late that she couldn't take her daughter to school the next morning. She
I
had a
know.
doctor's appointment, so why not just take her to school and go to your doctor's appointment? Like,
Exactly.
I just don't
And she's off
understand.
that day. Yeah, you're off that day. You didn't get home super late. Go to bed yourself and then get up in the morning and take your daughter to school and then go on about your business, right? Like the rest of us do. Because I'm telling you, there's more to it.
Uh-huh.
The more that I have after listening to these parents, I just can't figure out why Jen Soto isn't charged.
Yes.
You're going to hear some very interesting things that these parents say, and it's all alleged, and it's stuff that
Right.
they,
From their point of view, trying to take up for their son.
well, not really, not just that. Dad's
Well,
not
they
really
do
taking
both things. They throw him under the bus, but then I don't know.
They say things about Jen that really
Right.
make me question her role in this. And I say that because I do know of cases where the mothers have absolutely been involved. And when you hear the amount of money that Stefan continued to spend, and now Jen's over here also driving a newer car and she's spending money, but she changes jobs every few weeks. Where the hell were you two getting any money from?
Yep.
Dad's paying Stefan, because when they were together as a couple, Stefan didn't pay $600 a month. He paid less than that. And then when him and Jen decided to split up and just be friends, or as the mother says, or dad, which one it was, friends with benefits type thing, then he went to his own room and now he needed to pay $600 a month until his dad said enough's enough. And we need you to come back home, Stefan, because we're not paying bills over there anymore. So, and then even when once he moved home, he was still receiving the packages with all his little freaking toys in it.
Right.
So
but the way he said it, we moved him home like he's 13 years old.
Well, you're going to hear what this mother claims is wrong with him.
Yeah,
And
I heard that.
I also think they're going to try to use that. I think the defense will try to use that to get the DP off the table. Will it work? I hope not. So let me try something real quick. Let me test something. Let me see something real quick. Just there's got to be way more going on here. We'll go with the other thing that I wanted to do. Let's see. Can you hear anything?
No.
All right, hold on. That's not going to work like that. Let me do this other way. Let me do it the other way. Okay, guys, we're going to review the first part of what the docket put out, and the docket is here on YouTube at the docket 71. They do a really great job of getting these FOIA requests. I knew that he and Plunder were already waiting on this set of document drop to come out, and so was Grizzly, and they got them around the same exact time. So Giselle has not put out the parents part that I can tell yet, so we're just going to have to review his. He doesn't talk a lot. He kind of lets it flow, so it is a bit lengthy, but we'll try to get through it. And let me see before I get this. Okay. So we don't have to do a bunch of stuff we don't need. Thank you, Doodle. Okay, let me get the screen up. Okay.
Together. Just so you know, thank you, Ella Blue, for your $5 super chat. She says, thank you, Eric, Mods, and Amy, for making this one of my #1 out of 3 top channels. Keep up the great work. Absolutely, Ella Blue. And thank you so much for supporting the channel, allowing us to be able to continue to bring great content. So I'm going to mute and take notes, and we'll stop. Like I said, it's an hour, 45 minutes long, and it just shuts off at the end.
You guys hear it okay?
Yes.
That's me. That was on their end. So here we go, gang. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't.
There we go. That's better. Because that thing was well, I turn my phone. I may pick some up coffee. Always thirsty these days. Lucy, we're both on diets. We're taking. She's taking Ozempic. I'm taking Manjaro. And I've lost nearly 40 pounds.
Wow.
28.
And I'm but I just have to keep hydrated all the time. It just always.
Remember, in those texts are the emails between Stefan and Mommy and Daddy. They went on and on about how much weight Mom's lost now, or her little medication.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thanks for meeting with us this morning.
Our pleasure.
This has been a long few days, long week, and I can imagine what it is for you guys.
Full of lots of surprises.
Yeah.
We're in the 7th ring of hell.
So the reason we made the trip down here today is I know you spoke to Alex, I think.
Yeah, Alex,
yeah, with Orange County, and may have spoke to.
Now remember, Mom and Dad are over in NothPort. Dad had already left Orlando with the hotel's, the housing crisis situation, and went back home. So,
Corporal Ilgen that works with us.
Is he this tall, slim guy?
No,
Was
he's.
he at Orange County also?
He was. I think you may have talked to him out in the parking lot in Orange County.
Yeah.
Bald guy, probably wearing a SWAT shirt.
No, that didn't work. There was somebody else I thought was from.
I'm going to walk out, bad guys, and smoke a cigarette because I'm going to need it. Disgusting habit, I know, but it is what it is. But I've got my phone and I'll be watching chat. So y'all just buckle up, buttercups. That's all I can say. Here we go.
Considered PD, but and I thought actually you were him, but obviously not.
So
you're better looking than he is.
I appreciate it. But since I'm the lead detective and he's my part, that's the reason. So the reason we're here is basically try to get a background of what you know about Stefan and Jennifer's relationship and that sort of thing and stuff like that. So we can do it one of two ways. I can just give you guys the floor and you can let us know what their dynamic is, or I can do it question and answer wise, whatever's more comfortable for you.
Well, if you do it question and answer, more the answers that you wanted. If you let us sit here and ramble on for half an hour, you may not get what you want. You still have to question.
Fair enough for me.
We can fill in the gaps.
Yes.
All right. So, any idea how long Stefan and Jen have been in a
7 years.
7 years.
7 to 8 years, somewhere in there.
Okay. And was it throughout those 7 years, or on and off, or?
They were friends first, close friends first, and then it evolved into romantic relationship. I think probably the first 18 months was his friendship, and then it changed from there. And we did not like the relationship.
Why not?
Didn't approve of it.
No.
Why
She was
is that?
bad influence on it because of her
Drugs.
well, drugs plus I think she was taking medications for depression, anxiety, what have you, and I just didn't feel that she was going to be a good influence for him.
She's bipolar. She's bisexual. She's a drug addict. She had a young child. The family was disapproving, and she was sharing those drugs with Steph. And I don't approve of vaping. We don't do any drugs. We don't even drink.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even take specified medication for pain because my body rejects them, and I get really, really sick from them. So, I mean, went through open heart surgery on Tylenol.
Wow.
So it's
And they both they slept all the time.
Yeah.
And you know, we had a hard enough time dealing with Stefan sleeping all the time, and now he's got a relationship with somebody else that does it as well. It's like they were feeding off of each other, none of it in a positive way. I disapproved of a lot of Stefan's
that's the only
people.
thing. Yeah, only thing her mother and I approved of together was the fact that we didn't approve of the relationship, because if Jim started spiraling down one of her holes of depression, she took Stefan with him.
Mm-hmm.
If he was depressed, he brought her in, and it was just always like a balancing act with those two. This is not good. It's not a good dynamic.
You know, when you said they were always sleeping like constantly,
Yeah.
were they taking medicine to go sleeping, or they were just?
They were just
Stefan has a disorder, sleep apnea, and so he's been tested for it, and his he would be up all night and sleep all day, type of deal. And we really didn't have that much physical interaction with them.
Mm-hmm.
These are things that we observe from a distance, and trying to talk to Stefan at times, but we just really didn't have any social activity with him to speak of.
When Stefan would be here in town, like what would his routine be? Would he is he a homebody, or?
He locked himself in his room, and we would maybe once in a while tell him dinner's ready, but he was constantly in his room all the time.
He was painting little minis for Warhammer.
Okay.
He spent a lot of time doing that. A lot of time learning the new books as they came out. A lot of time online. He did go play Warhammer with the guys once a week. Tried to get him to go to the beach. Tried to get him to go to church. Tried to get him to go shooting with us. No.
Did he give an excuse why that he wouldn't want to go?
Like it.
Just no motivation.
And he walked around with Jen on the phone on FaceTime all the time. I would be in the kitchen. I would look up and I would see Jen, and she's like, and I'd look at her and
Recently or throughout the years?
The last few weeks, yeah.
Okay.
He wasn't. I brought him back in December because I was supporting him living there, and I didn't know that I was supporting the whole family.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Stefan's great at omitting information, not being transparent with me, and I just reached a point. I said, I can't afford to have you working for Disney,
Mm-hmm.
and there's always a deficit in his budget for one reason or another. But somehow he had expensive toys and what have you, and where the money came for that, he didn't even after he arrived here. Packages would arrive, and I said, well, I'm not giving him any money. Where the hell is Stefan? It's money I saved. And I'm sitting here going, Bohica. You know what Bohica is? It's an acronym. Bend over, here it comes again.
Mm-hmm.
And he called me up and said, well, I'm short of funds. Can you sell me $150? Send him that. But meanwhile, now he's telling me he's got money in savings, which I didn't believe.
Mm-hmm.
So where the money was coming from, I have no idea. But these packages just kept arriving.
When you would support him, how would you get him money?
I sell it.
Okay.
And I paid him, Juan charged Jen rent, and then in November of 2022, the reason why I know that because I looked it up the other day. I said, how far back have I been paying rent there? But he's with Jen. And then they decided that they weren't going to be in a relationship anymore. And he took over a full room, and now I had to pay $600. And so this just kept escalating. He wasn't taking care of his car. You know, I was waiting for that shoe to drop. So finally, I said, I can't afford you to live there anymore. And I moved him back here. And I thought, we had hoped that the year that he had spent at Disney, that he had matured and was now, you know, accepting responsibility and had a disciplined routine, and that I could bring him back here and help him maybe develop into something with a better career path than working for Disney forever and not getting anywhere, because at $30,000 a year, he couldn't support himself if he wanted to live on his own.
Right.
And that turned out to be a huge disappointment, because he fell right back into his same MO, you know, locked himself in his. We were like on eggshells, because when he was here, it was always tension because of his sleep disorder, and the dogs obviously are not the quietest things in the world. And you know, they have their routine, we have our routine, so we let them out in the evening and it's chaos with them. We let them out in the morning, it's chaos. But for the most of the time, they're at feeding time, they're quiet, you know. But again, that would disturb him, and didn't want to cause a flare up with them.
So when it would disturb him with the dogs, was that during the daytime, or was him trying to sleep at night?
Oh, it could be any time.
Oh, okay.
If anybody comes to the door, get a package, a rat farts in the yard, doesn't matter, they hear it.
So if he's sleeping during the day and we're doing our daily routine, you know, there's going to be distraction. If I come in the house, they're going, hey, I'm home, you know, they'd be a lot harder.
Right.
So, but, you know, I would just hope that, you know, he was soundly sleeping, that he would just sleep through it, but occasionally you would hear a bark out from him.
Or if he had his headphones on.
Him back in December. Do you remember when? First part of December, end of December?
I have to look up. It'd be early part of December, because I was trying to get him out of there. I thought it was the end of November. It could have been at the very end of November or the very first part of December, because I didn't want to owe Juan another month's rent. I wanted him out of there.
Did he mention they were split up at that time, or if they were still?
Well, they were supposed to be officially broken up.
Did he ever say why they broke up?
They just, well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, Jen told me as recently as last week, she didn't want him as a partner. She realized he was not going to be a good partner, but I assume that they both recognized that they wanted to go their separate ways. And I would say that occurred several months before, because there was one time he mentioned he was socializing with somebody at Disney, and that didn't go over well or something. She didn't like that.
Remember in the documents that we read in the 896 pages that he dated a woman briefly from Disney, and when they interviewed her, she had stated that Stefan told her he would sleep with his ex-girlfriend's daughter, and how he would wake up with an erection, have to roll over and face the other direction. And it creeped her out so bad she didn't see him anymore.
So
I told him, we both told him he would never get into a relationship until he got away from her, because what are you going to do? You're renting a room, bring a new woman into your room with your ex in the next room? I mean, that's a bad recipe.
Did this ever happen within the last 7 years? Did they break up and get back together and that sort of thing? Or
I think so.
I seem to recollect that there might have been a pause in that relationship, maybe to the extent of how involved the relationship was. Maybe it became more social than more of a relationship type of thing. But again, clueless as to exactly the extent of how involved the relationship really was. I mean, I always thought it was just good friends and you know, sex with benefit type of thing. But I don't know how committed they were to one another.
And that was going on all the way up until December.
Well, actually, before December, because like I said, when he went into the room on his own, that basically was probably the time that the relationship ended. So
Do you remember when that was? You said November?
Yeah, I'm going to try it. Let's see. He left in December, maybe 3 or 4 months before he pulled out of there. I think only paid 3 or 4 months at 600, maybe 3 months. I'd have to look it up.
Do you know if when he came back here in December, was he ever making trips back to Kissimmee at all?
There was, I think, 3 occasions he went back. This last trip, with when all this stuff happened, a trip before that, and then he went back for Thanksgiving, or he was there for Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah, so he wasn't invited to the family events, and but he was there at that time.
Okay. I'm assuming just visiting Jen, or was he visiting other people?
He was visiting Jen.
Yeah, I wouldn't know who else he would be associated with at that time.
Okay.
I don't think he had any relationships outside of Jen. Maybe I think there was a time or two he wanted to go out with some cast members after work. But
Bear was one of them.
yeah, but that's the only.
Has he ever lived in Kissimmee prior to meeting Jen?
No.
Okay. Always here in NothPort, or has he lived out elsewhere?
Well, we moved here in May of 2020, so it was always at our home, or he lived here. And then we finally got him out of here, and there was an opportunity for him to go live in Kissimmee.
Okay. But with Jen is when he went to Kissimmee.
Yeah, not on his own.
They were both supposed to be working at Disney together, but she can't keep a job.
Do you know why?
She doesn't want to lose her state benefits.
But depending on that work, you had back issues or something. Now she did a job as a concierge that didn't require any pressure or stress on her back or something. But there was always something that prevented her from working. Couldn't do dog sitting or whatever it was. It would last no more than 2 weeks, and then she.
And she was going to go to school for nursing. Oh my God, save the world.
Well, then she was going to get into graphic design.
Oh yeah.
Dad bought her an Apple computer thinking she was going to take these classes or online, and that didn't last long either.
And you're hearing this from
her,
Stefan? Oh, from both of them. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And everything that we're basically telling you is a lot of it's hearsay from what we were told. We didn't physically observe this, any of this stuff. Very, very little interaction. And when they were here, either in Stefan, Maddie always slept with Debbie, but
Work up, drips it off. Work up and listen up.
and Maddie floated around here, played with the dogs, did things that little girls do, what have you.
We did some art and crafts together.
Teaching her, did he? Crochet, yeah.
That was going to be my next question. So Jen and Maddie and Stefan came here to visit at some point, or a few times maybe.
Yeah, but if he was here, living here, he would actually come down.
Yeah.
But again, very few trips. The last trip we saw them was in, we didn't see, but I think we saw them early 2023 and then maybe for Thanksgiving 2022.
And then when they were here, you're saying Stefan or would hang out, and Stefan and Maddie would sleep with you, be with you. Okay. Why is that?
He's a slob. Number two, he only has a queen size bed.
Okay.
And number three, I didn't think it was a healthy environment. And they were going to have her sleeping on the floor, on the sleep bag. And I said, I have a king size bed. I sleep on 36 inches of it. There's a whole side of a bed. Why can't she be comfortable? So I just insisted that she come in with me, and I had the dogs with me. So if she got up, what Jen used to tell me was, she would wake up in the middle of the night, she'd come and climb in bed with them. I said, well, you're gonna have the dogs here. If you get out of bed, you're gonna rouse the dogs up.
I got you. Did they ever talk about their sleeping arrangements at their house in Kissimmee?
Just what I just told you. That if she had a bad dream or something, she would come in, and I told her as Maddie got older, because we've known Maddie for 7 years, and we watched her grow up. I mean, it's very hard. But she cute, sweet girl she was, but then she started in the last year, she started showing signs of bipolar as well. And Jen was horrified by that. They were butting heads like two rams. They were fighting all the time. And they're presenting a very different family dynamic than what I would be on the phone with Steph and I would hear them going at each other in the background. That's, you know, and I would say, what's going on? Well, Maddie and Jenny are at it again, you know, and I gotta go break this up. So he would go be the peacekeeper. But I just put that down to puberty. She went to puberty. She started puberty at 11.
Right.
It's hormones in me, but anyhow, she developed quickly.
At 11 years old. Now, we're going to hear in a little bit as this progresses. For some reason on Saturday, this fuckhead was extremely irritated the day before going to Jen's, like stressed out, irritated. Why? What caused that? Was there something going on that we don't know about yet? I can't. My mind. I'm like Grizzly. I've been down a freaking rabbit hole all day, and I need to come out. I need to come out for air.
Right.
Pull me back in. Pull me out.
Need the beach therapy.
Right.
Other than that, I don't think she had a lot of friends at school. I don't think that she was a very social person. She had been, if you remember, Stephen and Jim both told us that after she began developing physically, that there were some boys at school last year that would push her up against the wall and grab a feel and bully her. And they were having a hard time with the school getting it stopped.
But anyway, when they visited here, she was either out here or they were watching movies together. But when it came to sleepy time, she was definitely in Deb's room.
So yeah, Butterfly, it was sleepy time. Didn't we hear Jen talk about that? Yeah, I think that when I want to say it's in one of the damn documents that we read, there was something about it was Stefan in his interview, and I think that's a term his parents use with him all the time.
Yeah.
It's sleepy because we're going to hear how Stefan also slept with mom and dad, especially mom. One of his childhood friends had already made that statement that he found it weird that Stefan always slept with his mom, even as he got older. So,
but she questions Jen.
Yeah, she questions Jen's ability to mother. We already know how your son felt about you. Y'all are old deaf people, and you got those annoying poodles that did not seem to like Stefan.
Yeah, she's so old, but they take care of all these dogs.
Yeah.
Which takes a lot.
Yeah. All 5 of them.
Did you guys find what Chris just did right there as kind of dismissive of what?
Now, I have to say, I did. And when he broke in and said that, I was in the car going, yep, I agree. That's what I heard. So because he kind of dismissed the mom, talking about things. And then
everything that Deborah had just said, he comes in, he's like, but anyway. And keep in mind now, this is hearsay. But listen again.
Friends at school, I don't think that she was a very social person. She had been, if you remember, Stephen and Jim both told us that after she began developing physically, that there were some boys at school last year that would push her up against the wall and grab a feel and bully her. And they were having a hard time with the school getting it stopped.
I don't buy that. I think that's some bullshit Stefan told his mom. Maybe Jen even told her. I don't know. Because I feel like if you thought that was really going on and your daughter, a preteen, was developing and there were boys at school slamming her, pushing her against the locker and filling her up, my mama wouldn't have just waited on them to put a stop to it. There would have been a lot more done. I remember one time this little kid, a little kid ran up to me like in kindergarten and he
Mm-hmm.
kissed me on the cheek and he ran away. And I went home and told my mom and dad about it. Oh no, they didn't have none of that. You know what I mean? My mom been
Right.
around. If she went, I hid if my mom came to the school. Okay, usually it's because forced her down there. Was a good bullshit. That's my mom. That's not my mom. Never mind.
Right. Sounds like my kids with me. Mom.
Anyway,
You're right.
when they visited here, he was either out here or
Time where either Jen and Matt sleep in that room without Stefan, or okay, so the only person that would separate from them would be Maddie when she was with you.
and like I say, she was always foot around because she was bored.
Before that, as you see the holes, we had a TV per day, but we moved that one. So I would sit out here with Maddie when they were in there, and we'd watch TV together too. We even got the Disney Channel for her, so she'd have it.
Do you know if Maddie or Jen, when they were sleeping here, did they take medicine at night or anything like that you know of?
No,
Or did Stefan take any? Has he been?
He has been prescribed medication and medication. Some
hers or
patients.
She was, I think, taking medication, depressant. No, anything beyond that.
Medical marijuana. So
Oh, that medical marijuana. Lady, that medical marijuana didn't cause all this fucker. That it's all them pills and you're done.
time and
Salty, you're breaking up a little bit and they sound a little bit low. Uh-oh. She left me all by myself. Where'd she go? We lost her. I wonder if it's the cat again. She's back. I can't hear you if you're talking. I'm all alone. I hope she makes it back, y'all. I'm still here, Salty. I'm waiting patiently. Doodle, we need cake. And I think ice cream too. Hmm. Do you want me to just jump off? Or you want me to wait? She back. No, can't hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now. No, I can't hear you again. Wait, are you there? Hello. I see you, but I can't hear you. Now I hear you, I think. Are
Okay,
you there?
I thought so. It's trying. Yeah, can you hear
Yeah, I
me
can hear you.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, because it's like nobody's awake in this house but me. I'm like, I'm the only one on the internet. What's going on? Then I get this little thing at the top. StreamYard's like, it would work better if you plugged into the internet versus the Wi-Fi. I really, bitch, I didn't know that. Jesus,
My
I don't
kids
have
tell me all the time.
I don't have channel support. I can't hook into the Wi-Fi. Sorry, sorry, I did not mean to do that out loud. Hold on. Doodle, don't say a word. Just throw out some cake, baby girl. Throw out some cake. All right, I'm gonna try to get this close to back where we were. Let me see.
2022.
Okay. And then when they were here, you said Stefan and Jen would sleep in or would hang out in Stefan's room, and then Maddie would sleep with you, be with you. Okay. Why is that?
Number one,
We were further than this, weren't
number two,
we?
he only has a queen size bed.
Okay.
And number three, I didn't think it was a healthy environment.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to have her sleeping on the floor, on the sleeping.
Had we gotten this far yet? Oh, you guys still can't hear me. Ah. Okay, we heard this part. A butterfly, I don't know if it knocked her off. She's not up here with me anymore. There she is. Hold on. Okay.
I don't know what I hit, but
okay, I didn't know if it was me going crazy again over here or what. So
no, it was my end.
I'm gonna try to get this back to close to where we had it.
I kept on about that. He's completely opposite me. I start to organize stuff, get stuff done, not wait till the last minute, but he waited until the last minute.
Did we hear that
Very
part yet?
frustrating.
They're talking about getting Stefan packed and ready to go back to NothPort back in December. We might have hadn't got quite that far yet.
And when they were sleeping here, did they take medicine at night or anything like that you know of?
No, they.
Or did Stefan take any? Has he been prescribed any medication?
He has been prescribed an anti-anxiety medication.
Now, be mindful of the questions they're asking about all this medication. What were they taking? Where were they getting it? Remember, some of the documents stated that it appears that on the images on Stefan's phone, that during the assaults, Maddie appeared to be asleep.
Mm-hmm.
A ADHD medication, got Adderall and something clomidine, some for sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the first part of it is, but
Really didn't know his medical routines at all, hers or Jen. That
she was always changing medications.
Mm-hmm.
She was, I think, taking medication for depressant and anxiety and bipolar, but I don't know anything beyond that.
She had a prescription for medical marijuana. So
we had already heard
she
this
faked all the
part.
time, and she shared it stuff. I wouldn't allow it in my house. I don't like the smell of it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, if you're going to do that, you have to be outside. You can't bring it in here.
Now, after Stefan moved back here in December and he made the trips back to Kissimmee, would he drive the silver car, your
That's
car?
the first time he ever drove.
No. He drove the silver car because his car was in dire need of servicing. So I said, last thing I wanted to do is go 2 hours north and be stranded. Now I'm dealing with a disabled car.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that car was up for maintenance, so I let him drive that car.
What's wrong with his car?
It's 1,000 miles over service. The brake jobs need to be done. He hasn't taken care of that car at all. It's probably going to need about $2,000 to $3,000 worth of repair on it. I'm sure if I take it in, I'm sure it's going to be $2,000 to $3,000. AC was been acting up on it, but I didn't trust it for long trips. If he was just if he was in Kissimmee commuting to Disney, that's one thing, but not long trips. Right. In fact, I had him tow it down here, not drive it down.
So is it safe to say this last time he came and then maybe Thanksgiving or Christmas is when he took the silver car, or Thanksgiving?
So this last time, then he made it. When he came down here, he made a trip. When he first got down here, he made another trip back to get more stuff.
Okay.
So that was one trip, and then there was a trip in between. I guess he went up for Christmas because I think he was here for Thanksgiving. And then there was this most recent trip. So as far as I know, I think it was just 3 trips.
Now, when he would come back from there, would he have like loads of stuff? Like, I don't want to say furniture because there wasn't furniture.
It would just be leftover stuff that, for whatever reason, he had a 10-foot truck, and just the front end of it and all of the back was available.
So he rented a moving truck to grab it?
I rented it.
Oh, okay.
You know, it was more truck than he needed, and why he didn't get everything he had was ridiculous, because basically Dane came down to his typical modus operandi. He waited till the last minute, and then didn't have enough time to put stuff up there or whatever, but he didn't bring everything back with him.
Okay. Did he say why he didn't grab his stuff?
He didn't have to. Well, basically, if he did, it wasn't enough. He didn't have enough time. It's like bullshit. He had weeks to plan for this. You know, I kept on him about that. He's completely opposite me. I start to organize, get stuff done, not wait till the last minute, but he waited until the last minute. Very frustrating.
How long was he in Kissimmee when he made these trips?
Well, he stayed up there. If he went up there, he was up there for the day. Maybe he stayed up there a day or two.
Usually.
You know, no rush to get back. No urgency to come back.
This last time he went up here, or to Kissimmee, did he say why he was going to Kissimmee?
Her birthday.
Her birthday. Okay. Did he say he was invited to a party or anything like that? Or
I think he was asked
me to please come.
And you heard Maddie call? Okay.
Yes.
And do you remember when that was? Because I know she had a party on Sunday. Do you know
was
when?
it Saturday?
Yes.
Or was it?
To make sure he was coming.
Something odd on Saturday, and I don't know if was the invite on Saturday, or did he just say Sunday? I'm going to Kissimmee.
No, but we knew. I knew the week before because I found the gifts for Maddie.
Okay. He seemed to be very upset. Matter of fact, he came to me, he said, "Do you have any anxiety medication?" I go, "No, sorry, don't have anything like that. Everything I have is for diabetes or heart." And then he went to Debbie, and she said, "I don't have any." And then he came.
So Saturday, the day before the party, he was not himself and asking his parents, do they have any anxiety medicine? But yet we hear him talk about the Ativan and the tranquilizers and all the things he was taking when Maddie disappeared, because he was so distraught. What got you so upset on Saturday? What news did you get, Stefan?
Back and said, "Well, I found some 4-year-old stuff." Oh, okay, but he was suffering from high anxiety, man. I don't know what he was stressed out about.
When was this?
Sometime in the evening. I don't know.
Oh, Saturday or
Saturday.
days prior to that?
Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he's making, and then I guess the medication worked, and again, he looked like he was like very stressed out.
Have you ever seen him like that before?
Yes. When he was very stressed out. And it was like, better tiptoe, not sure if he's going to blow up or not. He seemed like he was calm enough, but, I didn't know if anything could trigger him or not.
So they had to tiptoe around this guy when his anxiety got heightened, because you don't know when he's going to blow up or not. So did Jen ever see that behavior? His high anxiety and the blow-ups.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
I want to know where was Jen on Saturday? I wonder what her schedule was on Saturday. Something happened between them.
Right. Was she at work or was she at home? Right. What was their conversations like? They were always FaceTime, we saw that, or we heard that. And apparently there's going to be a lot of texting, that communications that was going on between them as well.
Yeah.
Yes, Windmill, that is true. And hi, welcome in.
In fear of something or scared of something or just...
It was a different, other than, being really upset about something, he looked like he was stressed out over something. And obviously he never shared any of his feelings with us. And I had no idea it was stressing him out. but something really had him upset.
Angry upset, or just not that type of upset?
Not angry upset, but just something worried.
Now remember, Maddie's autopsy, cause of death, all that's sealed, and it will probably all remain that way, and rightfully so. I've got no problem with that at all. But I can't help but, man, I hate to go where my mind's going right now, so I'm just gonna digress.
So just seemed like there was something that was really preying on him, and it was not settling well with him.
And that's when he told you guys he was going to Kissimmee, or did he tell mom prior to that?
Well, he was making plans to go to Kissimmee, and and I don't know exactly when this happened, whether he told me on Saturday, but I knew he was leaving Sunday because we talked about the expense of that trip, and he said, well, Jen's going to pay for the trip, because I was done paying for this stuff. And he said, well, Jen's going to pay for it. I said, well, go down and fill up the car, and I'll take care of that. That would be enough gas for him to get up and get back, because that's all.
And Jen was going to pay for it with her part-time job. Stefan, why couldn't he
get the car too?
Right. Yeah. I mean, we know when Dad got him the job, he couldn't even hang with Dad at the job. His dad didn't want him to work at Disney because there was no future, no money, all that stuff. So Dad gave him a job, and he couldn't even hang with that job. Then you got Jen over here flip-flopping between jobs constantly. How's all this stuff getting paid for?
And poor Maddie in the middle.
Yeah.
With no one to take care of her.
Mm-hmm.
What he was going to do. And so I'm assuming that the plans were submitted on Saturday, but you're telling me that you knew about it a week in advance. Maybe he started planning that a week in advance, but I wasn't aware of it until the last minute.
But he didn't have this fearful reaction earlier that week. It was just that Saturday.
Yeah.
Did he say how long he planned on staying in Kissimmee?
A week.
A week.
Yeah. I was planning we were planning on him to be gone for a week because we were welcoming the break.
Damn. I didn't even catch that part earlier. They were welcoming the break that Stefan was going to be gone for a week to go visit Jen.
But then they wanted him back home.
Yeah, and when he was there, they had to walk on eggshells. And they wanted him home, so they've got to support him. And Jen's not good for him. They're both really messed up in the head. I think that's very obvious, especially with the conditions and the medications. And you're going to hear a little more about Stefan's little condition.
What did you buy her as a gift? You said you got her a gift?
I had ordered something, and they looked marvelous, but then I got it, and I think this is really probably too juvenile for me to wear. It's called Mermaid's Beads, and it's made out of sea glass, and it was a dual color bracelet, and they had the stud earrings and the same thing, and they were kind of opalescent. They're really neat. It's by No Goo, and it's mermaid tears. But I said, these are still in the box. I've never even worn them. I said, why spend money on something? This is something she would really like, because I knew her enough to know this was something right up her alley. And I said, this is $90 worth of a gift, that's just going to sit where it could be doing good someplace, somebody could enjoy it. So just gave him the boxes and said, are you going to gift wrap them? He said, no, I'll just take them like this. So.
How did you guys come to hear about everything that happened on Monday?
So I tried reaching Stefan. He called me when he got to Kissimmee Sunday.
Any idea when he called you?
I know exactly because I wrote out the timeline this morning.
Okay.
6:48 p.m.
Okay.
But then I noticed on some pass that he was out around 8:30, 8:48. There were two sun pass tolls. And I said, well, maybe they had gone out or something. But I said, okay, that's a little weird. So that I tried to get a hold of him.
Sun Pass is what we use in Florida for the tolls. We only have one. Well, we have the Pensacola Beach Bridge, and then we have another bridge that you can use the sun pass on. But down there in Central, and the turnpikes and all of this, they use them all the time. And that sun pass will tell a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Several times Monday morning, or maybe noonish, or maybe as late as 2:30ish or something, and then I get a call from him at 3:17, and his voice sounded a little off to me. I thought, well, maybe he was just, tired, and then maybe he didn't get a good night's sleep or what have you. And then during that conversation, he says, "Oh, by the way, I had a flat tire." Radar goes up. I go, "What do you mean you had a flat tire? Where could you have gotten a flat tire?" And I'm not going to say you can't pick up a flat tire anywhere, but he's just driving from here to the apartment and shouldn't be driving anywhere else per se. "Oh, I just got a flat tire." "Okay, where?" To and then he described the fact that the tire was so flat that he ran the rubber off the wheel. Okay, 192, plenty of places to pull over, and you're driving the rubber off the wheel?
He was terrified to stop that car because Maddie was in the trunk. And I think when he finally was forced to deal with that tire, that's where we know that's where he left her. Damn.
Right.
So then he described that he was changing the tire and that didn't have it set right, and the jack collapsed somewhat and trapped his thumb between the frame and the jack, and did hurt himself severely. And I think the conversation lasted about 3 minutes. And I said, "Well, let's get the car into a tire place and see what's going to cost to repair it." I'm sitting there counting. It's going to cost me several $100s for this now. And then that was it. And then 4:54, I'm just getting out of the car, meeting a customer. I'm going to take him into a house, and he calls, and he says, I'm en route to Maddie's grandmother. There's been an occurrence." I said, "Well, that's a strange word to use, but okay." And then I'm thinking, well, this is weird. 2 events in one afternoon: the flat tire and now this. And so he said, "Well, I took Maddie to school this morning, and I dropped her off just down from the school because Maddie didn't want to be seen dropped off in front of the school because I'm not driving a cool enough car." I said, "Okay, well, understand that. Teenager, peer pressure, what have you." And he said, I watched her walk towards the school down the rearview mirror as I pulled away. And so then he goes on to describe that she wasn't, it's been reported that she wasn't at school. Like, we went to pick her up, and she wasn't there. Then we come to find out she hadn't been at school all day. And then he starts to describe that the area is a high abduction area. Kids are stolen for abducted, kidnapped for sex trafficking, and that there's a good chance that she's been abducted.
So if you think this is a high traffic or a high area for abductions and trafficking and all the things, why would you let that child out and then walk or drive away while she rummaged through her bag? Because Jen had stated that they would sit there and watch her walk to school from the church, that it was common to drop the kids off there and some whatever, and they go across to the school, which I get it. We do that with my kids' school. But if you're known to be in an area with that much going on, and apparently there's a map the docket's going to speak of, and there's apparently a bunch of them there. So all the more reason to stay super vigilant and not allow your child to wander in those areas, right?
Exactly.
Don't make any sense.
Difficult questions.
Or was that, excuse me, part of your cover? Did you think that people were just going to believe you, that you dropped her off, and now, one of these guys in the area have abducted her? I mean, goodness.
Well, what have you done
with all the cameras?
Contacted her old friends,
Yeah.
Social media. Where's her phone? Oh, she left her phone at home. Oh, okay. Yeah, she does that from time to time. And it was a 3-minute conversation.
if they can see her in the car through all these different various cameras, because there's apparently more than one camera that's going to see her in that car. I have to wonder how good cameras are in all cases. Nope, that's
Right.
different rabbit hole.
And
Yeah.
he was sobbing. He was really sounded upset that he was holding himself responsible for this. Same routine that he did in that Tuesday interview. I think he was rehearsing it on me.
Did you catch that? The Tuesday interview that Dad's speaking of was the interview that Stefan did on TV. So his dad felt like that was a rehearsal. The whatever he did, yeah, man.
And it was exactly the same routine, same explanation, the whole deal. And so then I kept in touch with them throughout the evening because they were waiting for police to show up, and it was hours, and I just kept checking in, any news, and then that was it until Tuesday, and then I didn't.
Now, here's what I can tell you, and sorry for interrupting, but I went and looked several weeks ago when we got something else. The place around her school, it is littered with sex offenders. I actually put a picture of it out on Twitter. It's mind-blowing. How many, I couldn't figure out why so many was allowed to live so close to a school.
That's interesting.
So, there is some truth behind that.
Talk to him again until Tuesday, maybe it was the afternoon, and again, just trying to get an update, what's going on. And then as the day expanded, then police were now more involved, and there's interaction between, I guess, your department and the two of them.
When backtracking to Monday, so you talked to him, you said you tried calling him. When you tried calling him, did the call go right to voicemail, or did it ring a few times?
Combination of all of that. I mean, let me get my notepad.
And by the way, Jim had mentioned several times that Maddie was going through a phase where she didn't want to look uncool, and that it had become their routine to drop her off 1 block from school and pick her up 1 block from school.
And she told you this?
Yes. And I never said anything about it being a high traffic area or anything like that. She just said, it's a straight shot. We can see the school. There's an overpass. We make sure nobody's in the overpass, hanging out. And so we just watch. And then Stefan said he took her by himself. And then in the interview, Jen said, we dropped him off. She said it several times. And so I don't know if, do you want any conjecture or no? The conjecture is that she and Maddie are the same size. She wore Maddie's clothes with the hoodie up to cover the dark hair instead of the light hair. And that was Jen himself sitting at the church.
Okay, did you catch that? So Stefan's mom believes, remember when the police were investigating early, they went to that Peace Church that she allegedly was dropped off at, and there was a grainy footage there. That church sits way back off the road, and when the police reviewed the footage, they could see a car and a child or a girl get out, and appeared to hang out for a little bit or whatever. And then when Jen's sister shows up at the church, she also was allowed to view the video. They couldn't tell if that was Maddie or not, but Stefan's mom, in her mind, believes it was Jen, and they set it up to look like Maddie being dropped off. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what she
because obviously from what we've heard, Maddie was already gone by that time. So this elaborate charade put on for everybody's benefit. And she's cool, calm, and collected, and he's a sobbing, wet mess.
So my call to him at 2:25 was 2 seconds, so no connection. And then he called me at 3:17, and that conversation lasted 3 minutes.
And you said he was upset at that time, or he seemed?
No, he seemed off, and I said, well, maybe, you know, the anxiety medications or what have you was keeping him somewhat kind of flat monotone in a way. Nothing upbeat about it. And then, matter of factly, I had a flat tire. We talked about that, and then
Did he plan on taking the car to a tire shop? Did you guys confirm that plan?
I told him to. I said, he's driving on the donut, and we both confirmed that, you know, the donut wouldn't last long, and that.
I see a bunch of wows. What? I was writing notes down. What did I miss? I see a bunch of wows, and I can't believe what I just heard. What I miss? Oh, absolutely, shame on you. Yeah, Deborah will straight up tell you she hates Jen. Mom said it was Jen at the church. Okay, Shelley Joe says the mom saying that Jen, that was Jen. Okay, I completely missed that. Thank you, gang. We'll roll on. Sorry for interrupting you.
You know, he needed to get that quickly replaced, and I expected him to do it. I didn't expect for him to do it that day because that's not Stefan's modus operandi. I expected him to do it the next day. So then I didn't hear from him until he called me at 4:54, and that conversation lasted 3 minutes. And you know, as I said, I heard this story about him dropping her off at school and the whole abduction thing, and I heard that even more later in the evening. But I thought to myself, how strange these two events happened and within a short time of one another that afternoon.
Did you question him about it or no?
No, I didn't think about it. You know, when the call came in, he starts telling me that this is just a thought I had. It's kind of strange that coincidence that there were two incidents like that in that afternoon.
So moving on, you spoke to him around 4-ish, and that's when he said Maddie's gone missing.
Yeah, we're close to 5.
Okay. And then you didn't speak to him again until the following day. Is that
no,
correct?
I talked to him for 7 minutes at 6:02.
Okay.
6:02, and then again for 5 minutes at 6:22.
And is that just to get updates, or what's the conversation you're having?
Well, it was me he called me at 6:02, and again, just briefing me, letting me know what's going on. There was an out call at 2 minutes at 6:18, and then another one at 6:22 for 5 minutes. And both of those, I was making the calls. And then nothing again until Tuesday at 12:16, 3 seconds there, and then out at 6:32, 1 minute. I'm not even sure if we had even a conversation. So that was, and then after that, no more calls from his phone. Now Jen's calling me on her phone.
Okay. Did they tell you why?
There was a conversation about whether the police wanted his phone and whether he should give it to him. And I said, do you have any reason not to? Mm-hmm. And he said, no. And I said, then give me your phone. Let's get this cleared up. You know, what really upset me was in one of the conversations I had with him when it became apparent that he was going to be a person of interest. I said, well, you had your phone. You can document where you've been. Mm-hmm. Oh, I left my phone at home. Okay. Let's backtrack. Were you anywhere that a camera could have caught you? Where'd you go? And it didn't sound like he went anywhere that a camera could track him in. So I said, well, Well, I understand that, but I'm not sure, where a camera would have.
Mom said the vape shop. How come everybody keeps stressing about the damn vape shop? Go there and get the
I
camera.
don't know.
Right, Jen?
They're in McDonald's driving me
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah. Because Jen even said, "I can give you the name of the vape shop," and the lady said, the female officer says, "Well, I can get that in the name later," and Jen says, "Oh, well, I just figured you could go get cameras, from there." And what do you mean Stefan was driving around was in areas without cameras? Dude, you're talking Orlando, Florida.
They're everywhere.
It is everywhere. There's roads everywhere. There's people everywhere. There's 1 million visitors per day that can move through Orlando, Florida, just between the two parks, Disney and Universal. Like, good God, talk to somebody who don't know what they're talking about.
But thinking he was innocent, trying to help, pinpoint where he was so he could document his whereabouts, because of my understanding there was a 2-hour gap between when he supposedly dropped her off and then
damn
when
annoying
he returned
poodles.
home, because he said he called Jen at 10:17. And in fact, my understanding why he called Jen at 10:17 was to get back into the community because she had to call him in. He didn't have the clicker.
Okay. Is he tech savvy?
Interesting question.
My impression, no, but I'm hearing, hearsay from other people that he may have been. But when he told me that he was doing a OS update on his phone and it accidentally wiped out his phone, I cried bullshit. But there's always that one off. It could be, but when he starts saying, "Well, I accidentally pressed the button to reset it,"
Oops,
then
sorry. Hold on. Oh, let me get this again. All right.
That's not in the process of an OS update. You just say, yes, go ahead and do it, and you leave it alone, and it updates and it'll let you know that your phone's been updated. End of story. None of this other bullshit.
Do you pay for his phone or does he pay for it?
I pay for it. Yeah, would you put some cream in it? Blonde like you, and duke it in the microwave for 38 seconds.
Doodle, girl. Oh gosh, Doodle. And look, he just wanted some coffee and he wanted it blonde like her. Like, shouldn't your freaking wife know you already want your coffee looking like that?
In 38 seconds. I mean, really?
Right. He's
in
like,
the middle of a police interview.
Oh, he's very. Oh, okay. Yeah. These parents are a little odd, and your son's even odder. But yeah, blonde like you. Like, no shit. I thought you wanted it like dark like my other hair used to be, or some shit. What about the
It's
hat?
just nonchalant, like they're just talking about a trip to the mall or something. It just seems to me. Oh my god.
Yeah, they haven't had long to sit with the news, that this a tragic thing that's occurring or unfolding before their eyes, and they do seem like that, right? Like just laid back.
Yeah, but they all disassociate from everything.
Yeah. Interesting.
Seconds.
How did you get to Kissimmee? Like, what made you go to Kissimmee?
Okay, so I got a call. I got a call at 9:30, and then I think that's when that discussion took place about whether to give this phone to the police or not. I said, "You haven't got any issue with it? Give him the phone. Give him the phone." And then I got a call. And then I went to bed. I was 10 or something. I'm all tucked into bed. I got the boys with me. And I may have been partially asleep because I had my phone on silent. And then I woke up because the phone was vibrating. And then my watch would have been in the office. So the phone was vibrating. By the time I got it, there was no connect. So then that was at 10:42. And then I made an out call at 10:43. And then the conversation was about, you need to come up here.
And who says that?
They both did because they were on speaker.
Okay.
And Stefan said, "Hey, you need to come up here." And I said, "Okay." I said, so we discussed, they were being kicked out. They didn't have a place to stay, so I said, well, we need to figure out where to go for where to stay and what have you. And so I'm jumping in the shower, packing a bag, talking to Deb, making plans to leave, and which I did it just after midnight. I tried to make a call to them at 11:56. It went to voicemail, and then I called. Now we're into Wednesday, so I called her back at 12 to let them know I was on my way. And then I also called my wife because when I left, the front door, if you notice, has an electronic keypad on it. I think that's what I think, Drew.
No. Okay. Thank you.
It wasn't working, and it's been it's electronic, and it's batteries in there since the day we moved here, so 4 years old. So when I tried to lock it, it's not flashing or anything. I did get it to lock, but I wanted her to know that, hey, if you go out, you're going to have to come back in through the garage door. And the only way to do that if you had a clicker in your remote in your visor, but you weren't going to be able to get in through the front door. And then I got a call from them at 1:18, lasted for 2 minutes, and then at 1:51, 50 seconds, because I arrived at the hotel.
What were the conversation at the 118 area? What was that conversation about?
Just confirmation of where they were and where we were staying and the address of the hotel, because it was out off of west of Disney off the 429.
And from what I understand, did you pay for the hotel or did they pay for it?
They paid for theirs, and I paid for mine, but then it said a pet-friendly hotel, pet-friendly if you pay $150 for the night. Okay, so, all right. So I paid for the dog to stay.
Okay, their dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I actually reimbursed her for it.
All right, and when you got to the hotel, you had conversations with Jen and Stefan?
Yeah, we were just greeting, gave Stefan a hug and, chit-chatted for a few minutes. I was busy checking in because they had already completed their check-in. They went up to their room. They were on the opposite end of me, but we were on the same floor. I went out to the car, park my car, get my stuff and bring it in and go to my room. And then I went to their room, spent about 10 minutes with them, no more than 15. And then I was heading back to my room to go to bed.
What were the conversations when you were in their room?
I don't really recall. It was just, everybody settled in, everybody okay. We'll just meet in the morning and see what unfolds at that time. I'm sure there was going to be some more interviews or what have you. I plan to go to the office. Our corporate office is in Orlando, so I plan to go. So I was up 6:30, 7 or so, 6:30. Then I left the hotel around 7:30 to go to the office.
Okay. When you left to go to the office, was Steven and Jen still there?
As far as I know, I don't know. I come to find out later when I got a phone call from Jen around 10 o'clock, 9:48 or so. I think it was 9:49. She called me, lasted for about a minute to ask me if Stefan was with me. I go, no. Well, he's not here. How long has he been gone? Maybe 25 minutes. I said, okay, well, all right, maybe he's out running around, whatever. So then I get a call from her about at 10:17. Don't recall what that conversation was about. Then there was another call, 10:47, and I think matter of fact, I try to recall what time we talked about his not being there, and then I called back and said, I told her, I said, go down to the lobby. If he was gone for 25 minutes, go down to the lobby. Maybe he's down there. Seemed logical. And then after I hung up, I called her back and said, are your car keys there? And she said, no. I said, okay, interesting. So then I got a call back from her later and saying that the detective had called and said they were going to come over within the hour to visit with them. And I said, okay, I'm on my way. So I left the office and drove over there and thinking, well, he's going to be in a world of hurt if he's not there when they come back, because they'll probably put a bolo out on him and then just decide to arrest him because he's wandering around. What's he doing? So
when you got back, was he there?
No, he didn't show up for another 15 or 20 minutes. Okay. And then do you know if Jen's car has a GPS in it? Nav system?
It does, yes.
Okay. Well, that's part of his life. So he came back in and said, well, I got lost in the back roads of Disney, no GPS and what have you. And I didn't think about this till later. I thought, wait a minute, Jet's got a newer car. Most of them have a GPS system in it. So because he didn't have a phone, and obviously he didn't have hers.
The back roads at Disney. You mean on the lot, dude? I've been there, done that. It is a large facility. There are a lot of roads back there, but they're all contained within the park. And you work there, you're not going to get lost to the point you can't find your damn way out. But apparently you can, because you couldn't even read the map when the cop was like, where'd you go? Where the McDonald's is here. Oh, I went left or I went right. Oh, this is Town Loop. I'm sorry, I can't read this map. I'm on my Ativan.
In the whiny voice. In the whiny voice.
Exactly. Like, you just playing stupid? I mean, God.
He was trying to wind his way back to the hotel, but couldn't because he didn't have a GPS, when in fact he did have a GPS.
Now, there was talks of that he may have came here that morning.
Well, so when I finally got in to see Alex Wednesday evening, he said, what exit do you get off at when you come back to Northport? Tested my exit numbers, and I said, I think it's 179, Toledo Blade. And he said, did you know that Stefan was in Northport at 7:45 that morning? I said, really? No, I didn't. Then I later learned it was really 6:30ish, which meant that, and I had my timeline all screwed up. I thought they parted their room at 3:30 when in fact it was more like 2:30. So I was thinking, gosh, I just went to bed, and then he turned around and got out of there and went down to Northport. But when I learned about that, I couldn't imagine why. And then Alex is telling me, well, we have information that he went to your storage unit. So that led us down a rat hole. And then I found out that was completely wrong. That access storage facility had been accessed for 2 weeks. And that was me going to put the lock back on that I had incorrectly relocked my unit 2 weeks ago, now almost 3 weeks ago. So that was wrong. The time of his entering Northport was wrong. It was really an hour earlier, hour and 15 minutes earlier, and he never went access the storage unit. So I'm sitting there thinking, well, he must have been really disappointed if he was coming to this house because he couldn't get in the front door, and that door was locked. And he knew that that if he came in, chances are he would put the dogs on high alert and set them off, which would have got her up. And I asked her, I said, what would you have done if Stefan was standing in the middle of the house and you weren't expecting him? It's like, what are you doing here? And God knows what would have taken place at that point and why he was here.
Dad? Why are you here?
Why did I go to Orlando? Because I can tell you the amount of time I spent with him aggregately. 3 occasions was a total of 30, 35 minutes. That's the amount of time that I had spent with him. Because when he got back to that hotel room, the both of them went back to bed and they slept. And there was no waking the dead. And up until 2 o'clock, I'm trying to get him to eat something. Jen and I went down and had some lunch, but I have no idea why he was here, other than to get in the house to get something, maybe try to steal some money from me, maybe steal something of value to sell it, what have you. I had no idea.
So when you so on Tuesday, when he eventually made it back to the hotel, you're saying you and Jen went to go eat, but Stefan didn't want to go?
No, you couldn't wake him up. He was out of it, dead to the world.
Okay. Now, I was told by Northport PD when they came and talked to, I'm assuming you, one night, that you may have mentioned the dogs barking sometime throughout the night.
They went on high alert and I looked at my watch because I was in here alone. 3:19 in the morning. I had all 5 of them sleeping with me since he wasn't here to sleep with the boys. They all went from dead asleep to springing up in the air and standing on all 4 feet, all of them looking at my window and giving the war bark. That's not a war bark. That's a wolf.
Yeah.
So all 5 poodles at 3:19 in the morning were up doing the war bark at your window. Because was your creepy son looking in your window? What was he doing back there at that time? Was he thinking
Maybe.
about this? I wonder if he was thinking about discarding things out there and changed his mind.
Right.
Not her per se, but other things. I haven't figured out why he went out there yet. We know he went to the crime scene more than once. But why did he go all the way to Northport? You know what I mean? In the middle of the damn night. And he took
Right.
Jennifer's car. Or no, he took her car back to Maddie to the scene. But I think he had her car during this time too. But it makes no sense for him to travel back out there, and Dad was trying to figure that out as well.
When they do it, it's a sound that will make your skin
wake the dead.
And I didn't have the gun in my room. I don't usually I don't usually keep it in there. I had to come and look for a flashlight. I let all the dogs out here. And then I did not unlock the security lock on the door. I just took the flashlight and went like this to see if there was a critter in the yard. We have bobcats, we have all kinds of stuff out here. So didn't see anything in the yard. Didn't see anything out the front. Went and looked through the office window. Didn't see anything out there. So didn't see a car. I thought, okay, well, we must have had a critter, and I just missed it. You know, they dig holes and come under the fence and drive the dogs nuts. Rabbits especially. We had one last night.
And you're saying your code to the storage facility was not used on that Tuesday?
No, the storage unit, Northport Police told me was, they misread it, but they said the last access, because I didn't think Stefan had my access code unless when we were there in December, he decided to memorize it. And I keep it in my contacts, because obviously I don't use it that often. I'm not going to commit to memory. But I was there 2 weeks ago because they called me up and said, hey, you know, we're doing an audit. We got an audit that's going to happen, and we check all the units, and you didn't lock your unit properly. So, you know, it's just slided over, bolted, and then it's got 2 holes. You drop your padlock in there, lock it. Apparently I locked it on the outside. I didn't think I did, but anyway, it must have. So I went over there the next day and properly locked it. So
any reason why he would come here? Does he have any other friends or close people that he would?
Well, I mean, he has a limited number of friends. I don't know, maybe he was going to hook up with one of them, Frank being one of them. It's the one I know that he's is closely associated with, and when he goes out, it's with him. And we haven't heard of anybody else that he's socializing with, so I'm assuming he would have gone out with Frank. But other than just gaining access to this house, and there's no way he would have broken in here because impact windows not going to do that. And the front door not working, so he was scribbling tattoo. I checked the car, you know, after the Northport Police left to see if there was any marks on the door to see if he was tried to pry the car open, but nope, I didn't see any marks on it. So I guess he was here for an hour and 15 minutes or so before he had to make tracks to get back to Orlando, but I have no idea what he did for that amount of time. Maybe he came down here thinking he would throw the police off. If they obviously found a way to track him or something, maybe they said, well, he disposed of the body or disposed of something down here, but I have no idea. Other than just coming here and stealing something from us.
You don't know if he has his own credit cards or anything like that, do you?
He has one, maybe 2 credit cards at best that are his, and nothing else.
Okay.
I don't think he may have. I gave him access to a second Chase account that I set up for him, but it hasn't been used for whatever time. So if he has that, it doesn't have any money in the account. So other than that, that's the only thing I would know he had. I gave him. He would have use of the gas card, but I made him fill it up and give me the card back, so he didn't have use of that.
What banks does he have? Chase and.
Well, he has a second account that I set up, but he has his own account with Disney Partners.
Credit union.
Okay. We don't have any access to that, so I don't know what he's got in there, what he doesn't.
Have you looked to see if there was any phone activity on your account that you paid for anytime during that Monday, Tuesday area?
I didn't look at his account. To answer your question, no. But then a Wednesday, since he didn't have his phone, I had a spare phone I used for business, which I think you guys have, iPhone mini. And I said, here, use this until you get your phone back. Again, thinking everything's innocent and what have you. And so I gave that to him around 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon. I said, use this. And then we went downstairs and met with the detectives, and then they were escorted away. And then the last time I saw the phone, other than him calling me to tell me that the detective said when they pull into the Orange County Operations Center, they're going to go straight back. And I go, oh, okay. And I'm to go to the left and park out in front of the main building. We're going there for the press conference. And then I get there, and then I'm expecting to meet up with Jen and Stefan to go up to the press conference. And then when trying to reach them, Stefan's phone is dead at this point. It's turned off. Finally, Jen responds to me, and they said they're making arrangements to go inside. You'll get a pass. They'll take you upstairs to the press conference. So by the time I got up there, it was over. And now I'm just trying to, where is everybody? But the only call that came in, because I wiped out everything that I could think of to wipe out. Because if he's going to have access to that phone, like I've got my contacts in there where I put all my passwords and username and passwords. I know it's stored in passwords, but I want quick access to it or something, whatever, relevant information. What are you going to do? No, just stay. Yeah. Stay.
While she fights with the dogs for a second, you're going to hear some stuff here in these last 30-ish minutes that, if true, I think we know what his defense will be if it goes to trial. So if it's true, he has issues.
Tell me what. So, and then anything else that would have been confidential that I didn't want to have access to, I deleted off of there. Because again, I only expected them to use it for a short time. Because the police said in the lobby, "Hey, we're going to give your phone back. We're going to give your car back." Well, I knew what that was about. They're going to escort him without handcuffing and what have you. They wanted him to be comfortable and what have you. So I didn't expect to lose my iPhone as a result of that.
Which you should be able to get that iPhone back, but I'll double check and let you know.
Well, I was going to ask that. Yeah. Because I asked Alec about it. He said, well, it's being transferred to Kissimmee. And I said, well, this is going to be a slow process. So anyway.
No, we should be able to get you the iPhone back.
Yeah.
His other phone, no.
No. I would expect that. No.
What about the car?
The car, no.
Yeah, we already know that. Yeah, I've already kissed that goodbye.
Okay.
We use that as a poodle ambulance.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
The silver card, because the dogs go to the vet, or if they have some surgeries, or the puppies or what have you. Mm-hmm. The back seat, could be smeared with puke, blood, and what else? But we call it the poodle ambulance.
When you gave Stephen this car to go to Kissimmee, clean side?
No. It's the poodle ambulance. We're not going to have that car detailed, and then if he's using it, and of course, Debbie had a bunch of her stuff in it, but no, that car was not clean. Okay. And I said, well, if forensics is going to go over that, I mean, I tried to tell somebody, I said, it's a poodle ambulance. There's going to be some leftover puke, blood, or what have you that we weren't able to get out in the seats because they're perforated. Mm-hmm. So I hope somebody doesn't get too excited when they hit on something, but it's animal blood as far as I know.
Have you talked to Steven since he
hopes they don't get too excited? Remember those photos that we saw earlier when Grizzly was live of the stains in the carpet and on the car, and it appeared to be blood? Well, we don't know how Maddie was killed or what happened once she entered the vehicle, but was all that, from the poodles? I guess we'll find out. But yeah, that's what they used to haul those dogs around in.
He's been arrested.
No, we tried to set up a video visitation yesterday. It said we were confirmed. My iPad, my iPhone crashed a couple of times when I'm trying to get on, and then finally got it.
Flares yesterday.
What?
They said we had 3 solar flares yesterday. Facebook went offline, and a lot of Verizon went off, and some other. And I thought, well, maybe that's what kicked us off yesterday.
But when I finally got on it, he wasn't there. So I kind of expected that could have happened because again, they gave me a warning. They said, if he's not available, he's not going to be available and won't be there. But I figured since I had confirmation, but I haven't had any conversation whatsoever.
Have you talked with Jen since he's been arrested?
Last conversation, a text I had from her was when I asked her if she had gotten access back into the townhome, because if there was anything that Stefan had there, like supposedly he had his gun there, I wanted to get it out of there and away from harm and bring it back here where somebody else couldn't do anything with it. And I was making arrangements to do that. And she said yes, and then I didn't hear back from her after that. So she's gone dark on us. Okay. Has she lawyered up? No. Well, she's avoiding me for whatever reason. Because up until that point.
Park up. Park up.
Confirmation, but I haven't had any conversation whatsoever.
Have you talked with Jen since he's been arrested?
Last conversation, a text I had from her was when I asked her if she had gotten access back into the townhome, because if there was anything that Stefan had there, like supposedly he had his gun there, I wanted to get it out of there and away from harm and bring it back here where somebody else couldn't do anything with it. And I was making arrangements to do that. And she said yes, and then I didn't hear back from her after that. So she's gone dark on us. Okay. Has she lawyered up? No. Well, she's avoiding me for whatever reason. Because up until that point.
Well, we have her phone.
Oh, you have her phone. Oh, okay.
So that may be one of the reasons that she's.
Well, if I'm sending you love notes, I'll be teasing. If I'm sending you messages, now I know that's why it's not going to answer. Because the last thing I got from her was, yes, she did. And then I sent her another message afterwards, trying to get some more information. And again, try to make arrangements to get the gun out of there. Do you guys have the gun, or is it?
Yeah, we have it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
At least it's in safe hands. What?
I'm sorry.
I said we'll never see that again either.
No, yeah, you definitely will.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm just concerned that it's in safe hands. That's the only thing I was concerned about. I didn't want, because they have roommates there. I don't know who these people are. And somebody could take that, and I didn't want that to happen.
Have they ever talked about their roommates at all?
No,
we don't
even
know
know if it's sex. We don't even know if it's guys or girls.
Yeah.
Did ever talk to you about Sunday night after the party?
Regarding what?
Regarding the fact that there was probably drinking with the adults at the party, that she and Stefan would definitely have been vaping, that her meds were not working, and Sunday night when she went to bed with Maddie and Stefan was in Maddie's room to sleep, that she woke up with a headache, and she told Maddie, and she told us, she told Maddie to go sleep with Stefan in her room.
So that has been consistent. That has been, apparently in Jen's mind, that was okay because, this is from March the 6th of 2024, 5 days after he's been arrested. And Deborah, Jen told Deborah, yeah, I had a headache. I told them to go sleep together. I needed to get some sleep.
Regarding what?
Regarding the fact that there was probably drinking with the adults at the party, that she and Stefan would definitely have been vaping, that her meds were not working. And Sunday night when she went to bed with Maddie and Stefan was in Maddie's room to sleep, that she woke up with a headache, and she told Maddie, and she told us, she told Maddie to go sleep with Stefan in her room. And
in her room or his room?
And when
his room.
He was sleeping in Maddie's room, and she sent him. She specifically said, because she told her, she says, I told her to go sleep with Stefan. And I was like the antenna popped up, and I said, what a stupid thing to do. Well, why would you do that? You've got plenty of room on your bed. Why would you send Maddie in there to go on a single bed with Stefan? It didn't make sense to me.
Do you know if they've ever talked about that in the past, that they would allow Maddie and Stefan to sleep in the same room together, or the three of them sleep in the same bed?
That was the first time I'd heard that. But when she started talking about Maddie coming and sleeping with them at night, climbing in bed with them at night, and then Maddie told me, that's the word she told me, she says, yeah, I was sleeping with mom and dad, and I rolled over, and I ended up with my leg over Stefan's leg, and she giggled about it. And I was like going, that was the second time.
Deborah's not the easiest person to hear, but y'all caught that, right? Y'all caught that. Listen again. Pay attention and listen again.
That was the first time I'd heard that. But when she started talking about Maddie coming and sleeping with them at night, climbing in bed with them at night, and then Maddie told me, that's the word she told me, she says, yeah, I was sleeping with mom and dad, and I rolled over, and I ended up with my leg over Stefan's leg, and she giggled about it. And I was like going, that was the second time. I said, and I told Jen, I said, listen, she's getting too old to do this. She's too old to share a bed with you. Don't do it anymore. I said, if you have to lock your bedroom door so she can't come in when you guys are asleep, then you need to do that. I said, I can understand a toddler. I can understand it up to about 5 years old. But after that, I mean, this is ridiculous. So I was very upset about that. And that's one of the other reasons we wanted him home. I just wanted him out of that environment.
I want to go back to the medication that Stefan. So Stefan on Saturday asked you if he had any medicine to calm his anxiety. Did he have prescription medication that just wasn't filled, or?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he didn't have any to take to Kissimmee.
No, not that we're aware of. And one of the things I was pressing hard with Stefan when he left Disney, I said, talk to Human Resources to get your insurance coverage after leave, because you need it for prescriptions. And so up until 2 weeks ago, I'm assuming he had enough medication to get him through, but he needed some medication. So we're trying to get him back on insurance, which I did. And then there was a waiting period of a few days that we were supposed to call in and then arrange to get his prescription filled. He contacted the doctor, supposedly, because I told him to, and there would have been a prescription waiting for him, but it never got filled.
Gotcha. Okay.
When did he start taking prescription medication? Do you remember?
He started taking Adderall when he was a child. I mean, he has a TBI, and so he was on an IEP through school, individual education program. He went to special classes. He was hit by a truck when he was 8, hit in the back of the head with the bumper, run over his torso, and then the guy heard everybody screaming, put the car drive and drove back over and got him in the front of the head. And then, so he.
I want you to listen to this too. This was another huge, huge deal. Perk up and listen up, because if it goes to trial, in my opinion, I think we just found a defense. So listen up.
Adderall when he was a child. I mean, he has a TBI, and so he was on an IEP through school, individual education program. He went to special classes. He was hit by a truck when he was 8, hit in the back of the head with a bumper, run over his torso, and then the guy heard everybody screaming, put the car drive and drove back over and got him in the front of the head. And then, so he.
Well, how long has he been seeing the psychiatrist, psychologist?
Counselor there?
Yeah, counselor.
About 4 years.
So she was prescribing medications for him at least 4 or 5 years ago, whenever he started going to counseling.
So when you last saw him on Saturday and he's having this episode, the next time you see him is Tuesday night, going into Wednesday?
Wednesday morning, 2:15.
Early in the morning.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Change in his demeanor, I'm assuming, was different?
Just very stoic, no emotions. Again, I'm attributing to maybe medication he's taking and the fact that.
Where would he get that medication? From Jen, if he was going to take it?
Yeah, in fact Jen said, "Oh, don't worry about it. I have some meds here he could use."
I'm going to need to do some research because I want to find out if this traumatic brain injury is going to do him any good moving forward with this case. Because if you are facing the death penalty and you have anything wrong with you mental capacity wise, it could very well get that taken completely off the table. Now, are they going to bring in some experts? I have to really check the case filings, you know what I mean, and see what kind of filings the defense is filing, because I haven't really looked at that probably in a good week. So I'm going to have to go and do some research on that. But man, if that's,
Well, I mean, I would think he would have to be on some sort of disability.
You'd think if it was to that level where he can't function and get jobs and do the things
Right.
you can normally do, if he doesn't already have a documented, he should have some documentation if he was hit as a child, and now he's a grown man. There should be plenty of documentation all the way up to this point, confirming this. That's no excuse for what he's done. None whatsoever in my book.
Yeah, because I haven't heard of a TBI that causes you to be
right. Being this, yeah, because we're not buying it, of course not. But it's defense attorneys will latch onto that in a heartbeat.
I mean, it could explain other behaviors, but in my opinion, not that.
Right. The acting out, getting upset with the dogs, getting crazy, and all that. Yes, exactly, but not to the point where what you were doing to this poor child.
Right.
The fact that we're now looking at early Wednesday morning, now going back to 5 o'clock. Well, actually, even sooner than that, since he knew the two events. So from that Monday afternoon or sometime Monday all the way.
Also, Doodle, I wonder if because, every state is so different. I know that for some people in Florida, it can be hard to get disability. For others, it's not. I know in Alabama, 20 minutes away, my cousin played hell, and she had a lot of medical conditions that in Florida, she would have gotten her disability. But she literally had to move back over here and get under a doctor's care here and get all that going before she ever got disability. And it was to the point she couldn't drive because of her seizures and things like that. And so thank goodness she's set now. But when she was in Alabama, it was a no-go all the way. It's insane.
Yeah. It takes forever here in Texas as well. There's only like certain criteria that will help expedite.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that. So it doesn't guarantee that you'll get it. It'll just help you along further up the list for it to be seen. So, but it takes a lot here too in Texas.
Oh goodness, Doodle. Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean it's not an uncommon injury for people to live with, right? So, like Doodle's explaining, there, it can be a lot of different things could happen because of your injuries, but not enough that's going to warrant this behavior. You should damn well know better. But could he use that as I didn't know better because of my brain is, you know what I mean? Oh my goodness. Damn.
Doodle, I hope your son's okay now.
Yeah, me too. I hope he's doing better. It could be challenging, I know.
Early morning. I don't know how much sleep he's had. I know he's been under a lot of pressure, obviously, from questioning and interviews and what have you. So I didn't expect to see much of him, much other than just being somewhat stoic, kind of zombie, out of it. That's when when I left him in his room, he was sitting in a chair. And matter of fact, I remember hearing a comment with Jen when I was talking to him. They were driving over to the hotel. She's yelling at him to wake up because he was sleeping in the car. And when I left him that.
I see you, Doodle. I feel you, hun. We walk a special walk, don't we? But we manage. So if you ever need an ear, you know where I'm at.
I'm so sorry, Doodle.
Sitting in that chair, he looked like the guy that was going to pass out. And to hear that he drove down to NothPort and back shocks the shit out of me. Unbelievable. So, the guy was like out of it. And where he came up with all that energy to do that. And then when he comes back to the hotel room, he's got an energy drink, and then he immediately crawls into bed, and he is dead to the world. You can't wake him up. And
I bet he was, considering he hadn't slept probably all night on Sunday night, all day on Monday, all the thing. Remember in the interview and then the police recordings we are listening to the audio, he continued on about how zonked out he was and all that. I bet when he finally did lay down, that dude crashed so hard, probably. Freak.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all these hours and everything else finally caught up to him, but there was no waking him up. He was passed out.
Okay.
I seriously don't know what he would have done if he had access to the house. But what he didn't realize is that when Chris leaves, this house gets locked up like Fort Worth, like Fort Knox, whatever it is. But because I never lock that door because it's a pain in the butt to get it up into the security position. And Elliot dislocated my thumb, so not one of these dogs are ripped a tendon. So I'm right-handed, so it's even harder. But I did do that because I don't know.
I do want to touch that. When NothPort was here, apparently they were given a computer. Is that
I
right?
gave him a computer.
Okay.
Yeah. Because there was a desktop computer sitting here, tower. And I told Alex, I said, hey, it's got a tower unit here, desktop. I said, you guys want it? And they said, yeah, we'll probably do that. And so again, I reminded NothPort Police that it was here, so I gave it to them.
Do you know what Stefan's dominant hand is?
What is what?
Dominant hand?
Right.
Is right. A couple questions. I know you mentioned part of his childhood and having that traumatic car crash. What else was his childhood like? Did he have a pretty normal childhood? Did he have siblings? Only child?
Well, he has an older brother that was in the Navy, but
they're 11 years apart. So it's basically like having raised two single children.
Okay.
Because of the age separation or what have you, I mean, his older brother, they weren't very close because of the age difference. So his older brother was never around that much.
Okay. Well, he joined the Navy right out of high school. He and a few of his friends. They've done wonderful with their lives. But yeah, no, he loves animals. Always picking stuff up and bringing it home. Would not do a single chore around the farm when we had the farm.
Is he a clean type person or?
No, Jesus God, no. He's lived in a.
Did he use the C word? Clean? No. It always a challenge to get him.
The C word, clean. What the hell? So Stefan's also a nasty ass. Mm-hmm.
Pick up his work. Always.
I was going to surprise him and put a hazmat sticker across his door.
Lady, I've raised boys. A woman ain't gonna wait on you hand and foot all your life, baby. Get your ass up and learn to clean like the girls. Period.
Yep.
My grown son knows how to clean. He's a clean freak like his mama.
Because I opened it and looked at it and shut the door again and said, I'm going in there. So then I offered to help him clean his room. I said, look, it's hard when it's that bad to even know where to start. I said, I will help you.
Yeah, we tried to encourage him for sports. He played baseball, like
he ran track,
but you know, he seemed fine as a kid growing up, and I don't know, maybe later this brain injury started.
He did not have very close friends. He had a couple of close friends and some acquaintances, but those were the only ones. And he took Shotokan karate with Brian. They got up to a brown belt.
How were his emotions as a kid?
Volatile, but also, I mean, even in kindergarten, before the accident, he didn't participate with the other kids a lot. He would rather go and make up his own game and do his own thing than that. He has a very high IQ. He's very intelligent. And I think that I was in college at the time too, trying to finish my degree, and I had all my books, oceanography and stuff like that, and he was interested. And when he was little, he was looking at my college textbooks, and I taught him to read. And he was reading at probably a 5th or 6th grade level when he went into 1st grade. He has a marvelous vocabulary. He has a great mind for history. If something interests him, he goes all in to research it.
Remember some of those conversations him and that cop had on his perp ride, is what I call it. We've got the audio on my channel, on the channel here, but I find that so she, I don't know, Stefan, so he was exhibiting behaviors before the accident ever occurred. So did they worsen once the accident? I don't know. Apparently not that smart, right, Butterfly? Figuring out that there's not cameras everywhere that can see you and that no one's going to buy this child was just sleeping in the car.
Mm-hmm. So when was he in sports? Was it before the TBI or after?
I don't know. It was probably after. Because I think the accident happened when they was still like a child, like 9, 10, somewhere in that. Because the guy that was interviewed talked about that accident.
Mm-hmm.
Now, his parents are saying there were 2 kids hit that day, Stefan and the friend, but not the friend that did the interview. But when the guy gave that interview to Gray Hughes, he didn't mention anybody else being involved in the accident, but he didn't have to, you know what I mean, at that point. He just was talking about Stefan. But yeah, the sports and all probably came a little after that to try to get him engaged, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just saying as far as like establishing that it affected his life that much when he was playing sports. So.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like she's mentioning the karate. He got up to a brown belt, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, yeah, if he's passionate about something, he will
put that
focus.
He becomes an expert.
You gotta, became passionate about whiskeys. Ask him anything about whiskeys. Ask him anything about teas. I said, Steph, go to the liquor store, and if you got this much knowledge, put it to use. Then he.
A lot of knowledge about whiskey.
Okay.
That's all right. Okay. Okay.
Get involved in these games, what have you. But boy, if he got focused on something, laser focused, and that really at an early age, because we came down from Georgia to Disney World, and he got the key to the liquor bar, and he stayed there focused until he got that key and unlocked it at 3 years old. I mean, he was like that laser focused.
He didn't want liquor; he wanted candy.
Yeah, but he was
the expensive candy that's in those.
Well, he was very, very vocal with us that he wanted more candy because we bribed him with candy all the way down on the plane. We were waiting for.
Interesting. And now he's in the jail complaining about he's running out of his root beer candy. and they
I
used
could
to.
barely hear what she said. So
Yes, hang on. Okay, so she says that when he was trying to get into the liquor cabinet, or Dad
Mhm.
said that, Mom said, well, he was wanting the candy. And then she said when he was little, they would bribe him with candy. And now here he is sitting in the county jail talking about, I'm out of root beer candy, Mommy.
we're
Hold
going
on.
back to 3 years old.
Right, hold on, baby. Let me put some money on the commissary and get you some more.
Mhm.
Suck on that.
After you tried to steal money from us.
Yeah, and she mentions at some point that there's a Rolex missing, and apparently it belonged to Deborah Sterns' father.
Mhm.
So
Right.
where'd it go?
With a car to get the car seat put in, jump seat for him, and I'm gonna let you tell it because I started laughing.
So we're in the car, we're on the way to this dinner, and he's in the back seat wearing a sailor suit. And I want candy. No, Stefan, I'm looking at the review. No, Stefan, you can't. We're on our way to dinner. Go on, split dinner. I want candy. No, you can't have candy. And he goes, I looked in my review mirror, looked at her, and just started laughing. And I said, no candy. You know? And so everybody's complimenting how cute he looks and what have you. So I got to tell you the cute story. You know, he obsessed with stuff sometimes, but you know.
And I am loud. When I'm frustrated, I yell.
Doodle.
I don't scream. Somebody told us that I'm a screamer. I don't scream. I yell. If they want to hear a scream, I'm sure they'll scream. But
she's Irish.
Yes.
Do not upset the Irish.
I am Irish. I have an Irish temper. I go from 0 to blow real quick. And
She goes from 0 to blow real quick because she has an Irish temper. So could that be where your son got it from? The friend also spoke of his mother's behaviors and how she would get upset with them. They were like 15, and she would scream at Stefan and tell him that he wasn't right and that he had never been right since he got hit by that car. And then Stefan got mad and just walked out of the house with his friends. And the guy said they didn't get far down the road, and she's calling him on the phone, telling him to get back here, like begging him just to come straight back to the house. Like, what?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Blaming him for getting hit in the head.
Yeah.
did not abuse him physically, but I yelled.
Because you can barely hear her, man. I got headphones.
Yeah, I know. It's really hard.
Yeah, I got my headphones on, so I'm trying to listen good.
Do you know about how much is left on this? Because I'm probably going to have to drop down soon.
Yeah, not too much, I don't think. And in fact, I'm getting tired too. I have to get up early as well. We may pause it and I timestamp it so we can come back tomorrow evening for a while and finish listening. But I don't think there. I don't know. There might be a little bit left of this, but I don't think so. Let's see.
Okay.
To another, but I yelled.
A former DI in the Air Force.
Yeah.
And she tried that on me very early in our marriage, and I said, "No, I'm sorry, I'm not going to fall for that."
we made a pact when we got married, because we got married, we didn't know each other. We knew each other for 5 weeks on the phone. We met again at our 10-year high school reunion. Got married 6 weeks later. I was in California, he was in Georgia. Back then, the rates changed at 8 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock his time, and he'd call me. So we did our courting on the phone, and we got married, drove cross country in my 240Z to the Gills.
240Z. I fly out to California. She's got all these boxes piled up in the family room. I go, what's that? That's going with us. 240Z. I said, let me tell you what's going in there. Cases of Coors, because you can get Coors west of the Rockies, or east of the Rockies, and my golf clubs. But these boxes are not going to fit in that 240Z. It's just.
So the beer and the golf clubs, we need that. But to hell with all your shit, man. Goodness.
You, me, the beer, and the golf clubs. That's it. And we drove cross country in that thing. Wow. But anyway.
But
we digress.
Yeah,
so anyway.
He told me, he says, whatever you do to me, I'll go back to you. Because I slapped him once. Mm. He said, you want me to slap you back? I said, no. He said, then don't slap me. He said, so whatever you do to me, I'm going to do to you. So the next time I got mad, I dumped popcorn on his head.
Mm-hmm.
He picked up the bowl, some left, he dumped it on my head. I said, all right, I get it. And we have never, we don't fight like that anymore. We sit down and talk. When
They don't fight like that anymore. Less interesting because in 1994 you almost divorced him because he was having a long-term affair with a woman named Pooh. He called Pooh that you didn't know about, and then at some point they reconciled. Plunder has a video out on that as well, and I've got notes on that from we haven't went over all that stuff yet, but yeah. Anything you do to me, I'm gonna do to you. All right, you two. I'm gonna let it play for a couple more minutes, guys, and then we are gonna end up wrapping it up for the night, and we'll come back and listen.
Didn't Stefan say that they were planning their end of life?
Yes.
Making their end of life plans.
Does it sound like these two are planning end of life? I mean, do you know what I mean? They may, of course, I wouldn't put it past them to have something set up, living wills or the will in general, but planning your end of life makes it sound like you're about to go into hospice or the nursing home or.
Well, I mean, his thinking makes you wonder, was he planning their end of life?
Oh my goodness, right? He's tired of them and those damn poodles, and I want your house. Lord. And he's got just the one older brother, so he was probably set to get at least half of everything. Lord, I would be checking all my food in the house, my beverages. Was there any needle marks in anything, tampering, because he did say they were planning their end of life, and he had moved back home to help them, remember?
Yep.
With all that, because they were
But
old.
that's not what the dad said, though.
It's opposite of what Dad said. Because Stefan's over there telling the cop they're old and deaf and all the poodles and into life, but here they are having blonde coffee.
Heated for 38 seconds.
Talking about their son's obsession with candy.
Yeah, I don't know why he was trying to paint that narrative. Very interesting.
We're calm enough to finally sit down and talk.
Right.
There's a lot of
we have
me
a
going in my
blow
life
up
and
5
saying
minutes later it's over.
Yeah.
Forgotten about it.
No, there's no grudges held. But with him, it's
Did y'all catch that on the screen? Joe Schmo was in there. I knew he was earlier. That was from earlier today. Go, Joe, because me and Butterfly were in there too.
Yeah, I was in there. I made a couple of comments, but I didn't.
I think
he was on there for 7 hours.
I know, girl. He was because he went through a lot of stuff. A lot
Yeah,
of that,
I think he went back to the beginning. I think the original, the docs.
What they were able to do was when they got sent this load of documents. Remember the ones we went over were so redacted. The ones that he got are not as redacted. So that's what they were going over. I did figure that much out.
Yeah. I need to go back and finish listening to it.
Yeah. And guys, if you want, go over to the docket and you can, rewatch this, get a better listen if you need to. Like tomorrow, if you're not busy and you want to review, you can go check the rest of it out. There will probably be more stuff released tomorrow. And I'm not sure if I'll go live tomorrow night. What is tomorrow? Like a Friday or something? Oh,
yeah. Tomorrow's Friday.
Oh, yeah. My
Sunday's the only day I won't be able to watch or come on.
Yeah.
My son's birthday is on Sunday. So.
Oh, how old's your son going to be?
24.
Yeah. That's cool. My kid asked me earlier if he could go to his friends after school tomorrow. They're 17, and he's like, can I go? So he's not going to be home tomorrow night. But I got a long day, so I don't know if I'll go live or not. But I may be checking out, the various stuff that is coming out, so I can gather it and get it together and kind of organize it. And maybe Saturday I can do an early stream, because these late ones are hard on all of us, and I know that. So I appreciate you guys being here for it. But maybe that's what we'll do. And if you review things in between now and Saturday, that's fine, because we can come back as a community and talk about them. I don't have any issues with that whatsoever. But it is getting late, and I know we all have to get up, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. Let me get the timestamp on this, though, in case so tomorrow when I get in the morning, I can start reviewing it again and take notes or whatever. Because there's a lot, that's said, and like you said, it's hard to hear her.
Right.
Because in the car, I was having a hard time, and I'm already hard of hearing, but I was able to
Yeah,
hear
me too.
better with these headphones on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, do what you got to
Like,
do.
wait, let me put my hearing aids on.
I know, right? Let me get these things out. I feel like my poor dad. My dad can't hear anything anymore, but that's all my life. We were raised
Yeah.
knowing my dad could barely hear us, only at one ear, and lo and behold, I've got the same thing. The left ear is just shot out, But
And
anyway,
I hate wearing them things too.
it is what it is. So, oh, yeah. My dad. They were going to try to take him, or he had to go to Birmingham, Alabama. I think it was 2 months ago, and they were going to try to put the cochlear implants in, and they said he's too old. He's 70.
What?
Yeah, he's 74, but he's got the ear that's really, really bad. There's apparently lots of scar tissue in there, and I don't know if they could get him in there even without taking that out. You know what I mean? It may be just too much on
Too
him.
risky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's on these different medications and different things they're trying. And I know my sister said the other day that it cleared up enough where he could actually hear her. They were writing things on the paper, and my brother taught him to text on his phone because he could always let us call him, or he finally learned all that. But now my brother has taught him to text. I'm like, well, he needs to in case emergency happens and he can't hear us. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So thank you, Melissa. Anybody lurking and listening, we really appreciate you being here. We know this could be a tough subject, but at least it didn't get real graphic and in all of this. So, but we do appreciate you coming in and being here for it. And justice for Madeline Soto. I mean, come on, hopefully if there's any, I'm beginning to wonder, is there just no evidence linking Jennifer? Like on the phone, we know there's tons of images of Stefan doing things. There's none of Jen apparently, because she'd be sitting there beside him.
Right.
So if they can't physically tie her to anything, what can they charge her with? Do you know what I mean? Besides lying, besides being a big ass idiot liar. Now, if she knew more, if there was selling of the CSAM occurring, which I think is a damn good high probability at this point, considering how much he had on the phone and how much money he was spending on his damn toys and all the things. And Jennifer over there half-ass working, and she's able to spend money. How are y'all getting that money? Where's it coming from? Is it coming from your CSAM material?
Yeah. Well, just the fact she sent her to sleep with him, and then that resulted.
Exactly.
There has to be something that she's. They're just so frustrating.
Well, then I go back to why was he so stressed out on Saturday?
Yes.
The day before he goes back to Kissimmee to visit them. What news did you get? What set you off?
Right.
Your parents say little things could set you off, and I get that, but the way Dad's describing it, something really set him off.
Was it premeditated as opposed to?
I don't know if it would have been a premeditated. No, I believe.
Well, if you found out something and.
Yeah, there was somebody had a theory earlier, and it's one that I don't know why my brain went there automatically in the beginning when we realized what had happened. Jealousy. We hear Jen talking about how her and Maddie were going at it, and Stefan's mom says they were going at it and fighting all the time. I think Jennifer even tells the police officer at one point, threatened to send her debt to her dad's and all this.
Right.
Was there a level of jealousy from on Jen's part toward her daughter? And did something occur that Sunday night that reached next level that maybe shouldn't have, besides the obvious what he was doing to her. So
Right.
that's the rabbit hole I've been in.
But then why Saturday? That kind of Saturday thing kind of makes you wonder.
Did he get some news he didn't want to hear on Saturday? They've got a problem. How do we handle this? And then when they were at home on Sunday night, did something happen or things got escalated? Is Jen the one that harmed her daughter?
Right. I mean, that's crossed my mind as well.
That is theory, everyone, please. That is just a theory and a possibility of me thinking out loud. There's nothing anywhere that says that yet.
Right.
But would they even be able to tie her to anything? I don't know, so it's going to be a wait and see game, obviously. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to take this screen down. And like I said, if you want to finish this on your own, it's the docket, and Doodle's got the link there for us. Great job, docket. We really appreciate it. Appreciate everything that him Grizzly has done. Yeah, exactly. We all appreciate it so that we can review it and share it together and go over it. So with that said, guys, we are going to knock it off for the night. And again, I appreciate you all coming in. Yep, anything is possible at this point, Melissa. And we don't want to, our brains don't want to go there, but you can't help it with this case. You can't help but think about the different things that could be going on.
Yeah. So. I question why he went back to her place after waited for her to come back from the doctor.
Yeah.
What was discussed at that point? Because there's nothing, they wouldn't be texting or on a phone call or whatever, like what was said.
Yeah, what was said in private, in person there,
Right. But you can't prove that unless one of them recorded something.
Right. It just feels like she knew more, especially with the we dropped her off, we this, we that.
Yeah.
I mean, was you just a blooming ass idiot? And he's like, oh, look, you can't say I did it alone. They'll never believe it. And she's like, okay. Damn. Okay. Oh, now I got to quit saying that word. Stop me. Somebody stop me.
Yes, please stop. I need a nightmare.
I need a new word. Right? Y'all hear me screaming in the middle of the night. Just like to go back to bed, Salty.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. All right.
It's not real.
Oh God. I got weapons all around my bed. Bring it, MF.
Hey, you're closer over there than me. So
hey, I will lay in that bed and pretend to be asleep and wait for the perpetrator to get all the way to that bed. And I'm in Florida, and I will stand my damn ground. So
there you go.
There you go. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of the night, and we'll see you back here at some point tomorrow. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you, Butterfly, for coming up with me.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime.
All right. Good night, guys. Thank you, Miss Doodle, for everything you do over here. Love you.